Hello. No commentary. Just play game. Continue. I wonder, since we saved right before the choice.
Guys, here's what I think. I'm not going to join this invader hunt thing.
Or we might have saved after. Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Hold on. I don't know if stream has started yet for Area 1. What the heck? What is chat rate? The chat rate of the stream at the most available time. Do. Here, I'll be right back, guys. Oh, never mind. Maybe? Okay, let's go.
Guys, here's what I think. I'm not going to join this invader hunt thing.
Do we think I'm going to get people killed? I feel like this is the wrong choice to make because we're running from the problem. But at the same time, this is Doremi, right? So it could be that us ignoring her is the best thing to do. Right, of course not. A rational decision. I hope you can all follow my lead in this. I know I will. There's nothing to be afraid of if we all reject it together. Hey, don't speak for everyone just yet. What, you mean you're joining? Of course, I'll never get a chance to live out my fantasies like this again. Besides, the name Invader Hunt makes the game sound like it's going to be an absolute blast. I'm with Takumi on this one. You'll find me playing that game over my dead body. This invader hunt is just the culprit trying to trick us into believing it'll be fun, but it's clearly stated on the blackboard that this is a killing game. The recording said as much too. I'll follow Takumi's lead as well. It's against my artistic principle to kill for entertainment.
This message don't make sense anyway. The sponsor said those not in the game will be eliminated, but we'd still get eliminated sooner or later if we did join.
Don't be stupid. Nobody has to die if we win, right? Right? Darumi, are you listening to yourself? Huh? You're taking this this I love killing games persona a little too far, aren't you? I am not. I'm just saying what I really think. Darumi's pigtails swayed as she vigorously shook her head in denial, but there was definitely some uncertainty in her eyes. What about you, Hiruko? You haven't said anything yet. Either choice is fine with me. What do you mean? Wait, are her veins popping out more now? I'm not interested in this game at all. I am, however, interested in finding out the sponsor's identity. They'll make their move eventually, whether we join the silly game or not. That's when we'll swoop in and bring that sicko down, right? That's more or less what I was thinking. Then we have an answer. Yes, we're not going to join the invader hunt. Darumi, you don't mind, do you? I do mind, but it's not like I can play a killing game by myself. Ha. Fine. Fine, I'll go with the majority. After that, we decided to stay together until the stipulated time. We didn't know what might happen, and there was always the possibility the sponsor was actually one of us. Staying together meant we could prevent the sponsor from trying anything. I didn't tell anyone about that second reason, though. They all seemed convinced the sponsor was an outsider who had infiltrated the school. Well, they were acting like they thought that anyway. The sky turned dark as we whiled our time away. Finally, it was 7 p.m., the time mentioned on the voice recorder. That was when I threw the door to the leisure lounge open. Not because I wanted to join the game, of course. I was there to declare as team leader that none of us would be joining. Everyone else stood outside just in case. Turning around, I could see the others trying to peer in through the door, which was slightly ajar. There was nobody inside the room, not even a faint presence. After looking around, I lifted my head to the ceiling and shouted, "Ha! Hey, are you there? Can you see me? I'm here to tell you none of us will be joining your stupid invader hunt." No response at all. Have it your way. That's all I wanted to say. Have a bad night. Whoa, we showed them by saying bad night. After that cold farewell, I turned around and stepped out of the leisure lounge. What if we wanted to swim at that point in time, huh? Oh boy, you really said it, and after the sponsor said they'd kill us all if we refused to play the game. Don't say I didn't warn you. Will we be okay? Gaku got killed the last time we did this. But that killer fled and went outside the wall of fire, right? Most likely, yeah. That's why the sponsor of this game probably isn't one of us. Kaku even said this morning that the handwriting was different this time. I can't be completely sure because they used spray paint. If the sponsor wasn't the one who killed Gaku, there's also a possibility this entire thing was just a prank. So we need not be unnecessarily shaken. That's if the sponsor wasn't the killer. The truth of the matter remains to be seen. Everybody fell momentarily silent after that. Question. What's the plan for tonight? Plan? Our sleeping arrangements. Where should we all spend the night? I'm definitely sleeping in my dear sister's room. I'll stay with Takemaru.
No way.
What?
You don't trust Takumi even after he saved my life. You and me are through, man.
But... The Tsukumo twins aside, why don't we sleep in our own rooms like normal? Just lock the door and you'll be fine. I agree, there are 13 people here. Making everyone sleep in pairs would leave one person out. Alright, but why not put that person with one of the other pairs? We should avoid having 3 people in one room. It's too risky. Risky? Why? Not again. Our team's already discussed this to death, and now I have to repeat myself. Despite her complaint, Hiruko carefully explained to those from the other academy why Why, excuse me, we decided having 3 people in a room together was a bad idea. That does make sense. We should all go back to our own rooms then. No, you've just triggered the mother of all death flags and you don't even know it. Well, anything to spice things up around here. That decided, we all returned to our own rooms to sleep after dinner. Ima insisted on sleeping in Kako's room, but nobody protested on that point. Are we going to get knocked out when we open up our door again? And then someone else will die. Turns out we were the killer all along.
Up and Adam troops, time to rise and shine!
Locking the door would have prevented Hiroko's event, right? Or her death. I'm trying to think of what else it would have prevented. Hiroko dying was like the most important one, though. Oh, and also Takumi locking the door to keep Eito from going under the bed, right? Because he did that before they got back there, yeah.
Get ready for your 26th day of active service here at last.
What a day that was.
Academy.
What a time.
Prepare to spend another day enduring the unendurable and suffering the insufferable to pave the way for humanity's future greatness. Be ready to give your lives
Yeah,
to protect...
yeah, okay. In the morning, I headed to the cafeteria for breakfast, only to find that everyone else was already there, except... No, we're all there. Life is good. 1, 3, 9. Oh my, how is it that I count 14 souls? Because you're terrible at math. There are only 13 people here. You see, nothing bad happened. So it was just a prank after all? But by who? And for what purpose?
If you're asking me, I think the most likely suspect is...
We all turned to look at Darumi. But wait a minute, you're accusing me of being the game's sponsor? I don't think so. Darumi doesn't have the guts to pull off something like that. You underestimate me. I may not have guts, but I've still got my brain meats. They're small and overpowered, but they're there all the same. Oh, for the love of murder. Hey, can't we just be happy that nothing happens? Please excuse me for exposing you to my foul-smelling dumpster breath, but why don't we all have breakfast together? After breakfast, we all headed off to do our own things, relieved that nothing bad had happened after all. Free time? As for me, I went back to my room. Almost immediately, a visitor came knocking. I opened the door to find Tsubasa standing outside. Is this the Tsubasa route?
Huh?
Because we're not as obsessed over Nozomi, I feel like. Whereas Tsubasa's been like kind of a bro. She crossed the picket line even without being prompted much. Did something happen? You asked about Ava's mask yesterday, remember? I brought it here for you. Oh, thanks. Sorry for the trouble. I took the mask from her. I guess this is the Ava route. What are you going to do with that? I was thinking of returning it to Ava. What? You trust her now?
Huh?
Not really. It's just... Oh, I know. You fell in love with her. What? Of course not. Tsubasa narrowed her eyes at me, and I felt my palms get sweaty. Never mind. It's none of my business. Everyone's free to love who they want. I told you, that's not it. But since we're talking about the mask, I looked it over out of curiosity and found something pretty interesting. That mask isn't an ordinary accessory. It actually comes installed with a bunch of high-tech features. Infrared night vision, zoom functions, organic life detection. There's even a miniature air tank inside that allows it to turn into a gas mask. Using that air tank, the wearer can survive completely shut off from the outside world for as long as 30 minutes. That's amazing. It almost sounds like it'd be a waste to give it back to Ava. You wouldn't be able to use it, Takumi. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. Ava's the only one who can wear it. I guess I might as well give it back after all. Even with the best technology in the world, she can't possibly harm any of us from inside that cage, right? Tsubasa thought about it for a while before nodding in agreement. By the way, when's she gonna give us more information about the enemy? She did promise to be useful if we spared her life. I actually think it'd be best if we could get her to join us as an ally. An ally? Yeah, so that she can fight in defensive battles along with us. We need some kind of safety measure before allowing her to cut loose, of course. Like a collar with a bomb, maybe. That would put everyone at ease, right? If she tries to run or do anything funny, All we have to do to stop her is press a button to activate the bomb. A bulb lit up in my mind as Tsubasa was speaking. Tsubasa, let's say there was already a self-destruction device in Ava's body. Would it be possible for someone else to activate it? It depends on how the bomb was built. If the detonation mechanism was designed to be triggered remotely, then maybe. In that case, your plan might actually work. The detonator is on a joint on my left pinky finger. Moving it in a particular motion triggers an explosion. Wait, you were being serious? You weren't just speaking hypothetically? Do you think that's something you can do? You want me to create a detonation device for the bomb inside her? Yes, once it's done, we'll have the perfect safety measure. And then we can allow Ava to join us, huh? All right, I'll give it a shot. Awesome, I'm counting on you. After Tsubasa left, I went to look for Hiroko to get the key from her. The key that would open Ava's cage. I walked into the courtyard, her mask in hand. Takumi. Here you go, as promised. That's my mask. It sure is. I opened the cage using the key Hiroko gave me. After handing Ava's mask to her, I closed the door and locked it again. Now she gets to look like a creepy monster thing again. But thank you, Takumi. I don't know what to say. No need, just keeping my promise. Well, I'll be seeing you. I turned around, giving a casual wave as I walked away. Free time. No free time. I'm back in my room, but now what? There's nothing for me to do here. I may as well go and take a walk around school. Free time! Your extinguisher level has increased. Bonding events have been unlocked. Bonding events are special events that occur when you raise your bond with the character. From now on, when you give characters a gift, you'll increase their affinity towards you. After reaching a certain affinity, your bond will increase. You can greatly boost your affinity by gifting preferred items you've discovered through the various student activities. Take the initiative to strengthen your bond with your comrades. Oh, you guys don't understand how long it's been, how long I've waited for this, for free time. Good old free time. And now we can also give Hiroko gifts, which are effectively what we're lacking in grade. I guess we need analysis as well. Well, you know, we could just hang out with Ato. Good old buddy Ato. Oh, whoops, I forgot. Sorry, Ato. Oh, also, hold on. We should go and look for more, see if we can make more things. The spring trap is actually way more useful than I thought it would be. For some reason, I was thinking of the spring trap from Triangle Strategy, and like how you use it to knock people back or move people around in that game. But no, it's actually way better than that. Okay, I can't. Oh, I guess even if I wanted to, I couldn't. So that's good. We have 5 uses of spring trap now, which I think is pretty solid. We can basically like move people around at will at that point. These all take those 2 components, and I don't want to use those anymore. Wait, metal shop, garage, biolab.
Huh?
Oh, that's too much. 280. We only have 300. We need to make gifts as well. I think she's the math we need. Hiroko, that is. But let's work on leveling things up first. Attack goes up by 1. This becomes natively at 4 attack without needing to get buffed. I think that's worth it. Stab an enemy to deal damage. User recovers 1 HP. An enemy. But I feel like you can do it to more than 1, right? Based on the range. So this will be good because, I mean, will it be good? I don't know, whatever. Sometimes you won't need to, I don't know, we'll see. It seems redundant. Or no, I guess the range. So that effectively makes it like an impact blade or whatever the heck Takumi has. Impact stab. Okay, I can't use her. He's dead. Dead. Can't use these characters right now. Okay, here's the plan. I'm just gonna raise everything to level 2 at least. For the characters that we have at least. And that'll use up probably most of our BP. With the ring, your body's the only thing you can trust. Inflict stun on target. Inflict stun on user. 6 attack. Mokomania. Hype yourself up and get ready to run wild. Adds reflect to user. Adds armor +2, attack +1 to user. No, or there, wait, there is 5 movement. Okay, cool. I got this. Why is this so much more? It's 9,000 for this one, 3,000 for this one.
Out of my way.
I mean, I'm assuming we maybe get these two at some point. Who knows? Who knows? We don't get Shoma, though. Feels bad. Wait, if Ava starts fighting with us, then I'm assuming Shoma does as well, right? That would make the most sense. In which case, we do aggression signal. It won't matter. We probably use these together. This is the one we'll use more often than defense mode, I think, just when we want to prevent damage to the base. Okay. Excuse me. Wait, so what's our extinguisher level at if it leveled up? Because I thought we were already at 5. No, we were at 4. Okay. That makes sense. And I'm assuming What is it? Hiruko can probably give us, or we can probably give Hiruko. I'll save beforehand just in case I'm wrong about which math she's into. I'm assuming she's going to join just based off of the whole. Okay, so I'm assuming she joins based off of a couple different things. The first one being that we still haven't met the character that gives us literacy, just literacy, because Dodomi gives us creativity, and whoever the hell else gives us linguistics is a 2 icon person. Is it Ima? I don't remember. Yeah, it's so at least I'm making the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm assuming that she might be our last playable character. Oh yeah, maybe Ghost Boy. Maybe the baby joins us and the baby will be on the battlefield. No, that is true. Ghost Boy could also be a candidate. But it's got to be one of those two, right? I saved, right? I'm going to save again. The baby. So, like, surely this is going to be right up Hiruko's alley, right?
I suppose this is acceptable.
What? Analysis. Okay, analysis is the one we need, right? I thought she liked cute things. Cute little things, in fact. Is the Hamtaro supposed to be for Shoma then? Analysis? Yeah, we need analysis. Small, cute animals is what she prefers. What does she like about food? What's the food she likes? Wait, does she like weird things? Is that gonna be it? Because she did think Sirei was cute, right? And that's for Shoma. Wait. It's gonna be this. What? A photo book of exciting cat images. Some are wearing school uniforms and biker jackets. Others are even posed on their hind legs. Did she talk about liking wine? Or is that the O Suzuki girl? Oh, I don't have enough for some of those. I feel like she would want the high heels for some reason. Is she going to be the recipient of all like the weird or like all of the generic gifts like flower box, dried flowers? I don't know if wind chimes would be one. Potted plants, because I don't know who else you give those things to. All right, let's try the high heels. No, let's try the wine first. The wine will be it for sure, right? Her favorite thing is like a food as well, so I think this is it. Hey, welcome back, Funny Valentine. We finally got free time.
Me? I see. Thank you. This makes me happy.
Yes. Wait. Oh, am I maxed? Yep. I was like 14 doesn't seem right. All right, how much is 5 analysis? Or 5 affinity. Okay, apparently not high enough to raise the bond rank. And wine was the true thing. What was it I gave her? I gave her wine. Maybe she likes the caviar as well. Who knows? Whoops, wrong thing. Okay, literacy is my next thing to improve. But who even gives literacy? I don't remember. Gym, that seems obvious. Social studies. Oh, is it Golden that gives? No, that makes sense. He's the one that gives both of them, right? Because that's why I started parading him with gifts at the end of the first loop, I think. Trash can. Wait, why isn't the dog plushie here? So I can give him the dog plushie, and oh, we haven't given him the dog plushie in this loop, so it's a new gift. I mean, technically, we haven't given any of the gifts to him, so. But I'm assuming that's not how it works. But I think the wine thing actually is. So I think there's a lot of dialogue as you go through the game that like hints towards what people like. So in particular, I'm pretty sure she talks about getting wine from the cafeteria one time, and Takumi is like, we're not old enough to drink. Or something like that. I don't remember. I don't think that was something that Osuzuki was around for. That seemed... I think that was pretty early in the game, right? Anyways. Plushie. See, I burned myself by giving away all the gifts at the start of the... like, in the first loop. I'm assuming they'd still work, but... Because it's a new loop. They've never received these gifts before. Where's the dog? Is it Osuzuki? I don't know. I for some reason I thought it was Hiruko. Literacy.
You're giving something so awesome to useless bug poop like me? Thank you so much!
At ease, soldiers. It's time to hit the hay. You never know when the invaders might attack, so rest up while you still can. Well then, good night.
I went to bed after an uneventful day. No, it only seemed uneventful. Something may have been brewing behind the scenes without me noticing. But since I had no way of ascertaining that, I decided to simply go to bed and embrace sleep for the night. Bing bong, bong, bing, bing bong.
Get ready for your 20. Prepare to spend another day. Be ready to give your life.
Do you think Sire had enough time to swap out the recordings so he wouldn't have like a recording in there saying, you know, he unlocked a room? I woke up as the morning announcement played. It had barely finished when a piercing scream resounded in my ears. I jumped out of bed and dashed out of my room. I should have talked to people. I would have had clues as to what happened. Hiruko, Tsubasa, and Takemaru were out on the roof already. Was that Shoma just now? Yeah, I came running out when I heard it.
I was already here when she came out. The scream came from the back of the building.
Are you sure?
Trust me, I've got a dog's hearing.
Okay, let's go. Don't tell me my source of literacy is gone now. We made our way down the stairs as quickly as we could and headed for the back of the school. It didn't take long for us to reach our destination where we saw... No! I could have given him 2 gifts instead of 1! No!
Shoma!
I did just upgrade a couple of his abilities, but whatever, it's fine. I rushed over to check his pulse and breathing.
Nothing. He's dead.
No way!
By this time, other team members had come running as well. It was Nozomi, Moko, Kyoshika, Yugamu, and Kurara. They gasped and their eyes went wide when they saw Shoma's body.
Shoma!
Impossible.
What if that was just a recording that was played, though? Or through the voice manipulator and he's been dead for a while?
What is this? Is he breathing?
No, unfortunately.
Get your act together. It's too early to give up. We just heard him screaming. He can't have been dead longer than 10 minutes.
Right. We can use the Revive-O-Matic to bring him back.
Let's get him to the infirmary!
Yes, but just one moment.
The hell?
Sir Ima, Lady Kako, and Lady Darumi have not shown up yet.
Hey, you're right.
Maybe they woke up early and went to the cafeteria first?
Even so, they should have heard the scream. Weird that they didn't come running like the rest of us.
Let's speculate later, guys.
This isn't the time to discuss that. Get Shoma to the infirmary now.
Yeah, I'll carry him there on my back. I don't know how to work the Revive-O-Matic, though.
I'll come with you. The rest of you can go look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi.
Got it.
Takemaru put Shoma on his back and immediately ran off to the infirmary with Tsubasa. The rest of us then split up to look for Ima, Kako, and Darumi. Since the person who attacked Shoma could still be lurking nearby, we split into teams for safety. I partnered with Hiruko. We decided to start with the cafeteria. We made our way there as soon as we could, but there was nobody else inside. I feel like the first place you should look, no matter what, is the entrance, right? I mean, maybe you would already see that, oh, the 2 fire extinguishers are there, and then send someone to the garage to check the fire extinguishers there, right? Ima, Kako, Darumi, anybody there? No response. Looks like they're not here. Yes, let's try somewhere else. Turning around, we dashed down the hallway toward the gym, but when we got there... Hey, I can't open the door! Is it locked? I peered through the small opening in the slightly ajar door. There's a latch. Someone latched the door from inside. Hiruko and I looked at each other nervously, neither daring to breathe. We're going to have to break the door down. You're right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. One more time. What about our infusers? 1, 2, 3. The door refused to budge even after we threw ourselves against it numerous times. Soon the noise we were making started attracting the others to the gym as well. We need some help here, guys. What we were trying to do was obvious enough that we didn't have to explain. Everyone nodded, took a couple steps back, and prepared to charge the door. Ready? Go! The latch broke apart with a cracking sound, and we all tumbled into the gym together. How many bodies? And lying on the floor in front of us.
Kako!
Huh. Only one?
This is...
Unbelievable.
I ran to Kako and put a finger on her neck. There was no pulse. She was deathly cold. Hiruko came from behind me and started examining Kako's body. Once she had finished, she turned to look at the others and silently shook her head.
But it's okay. She couldn't have been dead for too long, like Shoma. Then we should take her to the infirmary now.
Yeah.
Nozomi ran over to Kako and lifted her up. As she did, something fell out of Kako's right hand. What's this? A medicine bottle? By the time I noticed it, Nozomi had already run out of the gym, carrying Kako's body. As the rest of us started to leave, Hiruko suddenly spoke up. Wait, Yugamu, you go with Nozomi. Moko, Kyoshika, Kulala, continue looking for Ima and Darumi. And Takumi, you stay here. What? Why? Just do as I say for now. I'll explain later. All right. Let us be off at once. The others nodded at each other and then ran toward the hallway. So she's staying with us, I see. Leaving only Hiruko and myself at the scene of the crime. Why only me? There's only one exit here, and it was latched shut. I turned to look at the exit. Lying on the floor nearby was a mop that had been broken into 3 pieces. The mop handle had been used as a makeshift latch. It would be impossible for someone to latch the door like that from outside, which means this incident happened in a locked room. Assuming this is true, there are 2 possibilities I can think of. Can you guess what they are? Can I look at the map? Is there only one entrance to this place after all? Maybe. I think it's a room kind of like the courtyard, though, so there is an adjacent wall to the hallway. So are we just like every other trap or locked room mystery? There's some other alternative, right? With like the one exception I think coming to mind would be like when you have a Rube Goldberg sort of contraption, right? Assuming this is true, there are 2 possibilities I can think of. Can you guess what they are? I answered hesitatingly. The first possibility is that, as much as I hate to say it, Kako killed herself, right?
Oh.
Yes, look at that bottle that dropped from her hand. What does the label say? TTX.
Huh.
It's an abbreviation for tetrodotoxin.
Huh.
It's extremely poisonous. Swallowing just 1 or 2 milligrams is fatal. Are you saying Kako drank this? I don't know, but we'll have time to think about that later. The other possibility is the more pressing one. Because if Kako didn't take the poison herself, it didn't take me long to make the connection. The killer is still hiding somewhere in the gym. Yes, if there is a killer, that is. That's why I told you to stay behind. All right, let's look around. Do I get to click around? Hiruko and I searched the gym as cautiously as we could. Despite leaving no stone unturned, we didn't find anyone hiding anywhere. This makes it clear that Kako took her own life. Wait, this is pufferfish toxin, Tiff? Why would that be here? Why? Well, I'm guessing you can make it in that one stupid Giftomatic, right? I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of weird stuff in the Giftomatic, but why that? Does it, though? Shomon was found sliced up at the back of the building around the same time. Don't you find it strange that somebody killed him while Kako killed herself? No, there's nothing strange about it. If Kako had been the one to kill Shoma. What? Takumi, what? Are you dumb? After stabbing him to death, she ran into the gym, blocked the door with the mop handle, and ingested the poison to kill herself. Wait, is she... Oh no, is she gonna be like, are you an idiot? I decided to state my opinion objectively, even though I really didn't want to say those words out loud. Maybe, but that wouldn't make sense if Kako died before Shoma. Remember how Kako felt when he touched her body? Yes, she'd already gone completely cold. I noticed it too. It's probably been several hours since she died. So Kako killed herself sometime last night, and then somebody killed Shoma sometime this morning. Or Kako was also murdered. That's a possibility as well. How is that possible when the door was latched from the inside? Wait, there's something more important here. If Kako had already been dead for a few hours... Yes, I'm afraid it's already too late for her. Oh no. It can be used therapeutically. Despite its toxicity, TTX can be used in small doses to block pain, particularly neuropathic pain, and may have potential applications in treating other conditions like spinal cord injuries and tumors. That seems very scary to take. Like, what if you accidentally take too many pills or drops or whatever? Oh, I can't get out of this. There we go. I still think that Shoma's body may have been there longer than we're leading on. Like, how could we hear this extremely loud scream? He says it's like ear piercing when we're inside of our rooms, which are supposed to, like block off. At least they don't explicitly say this, but it's not like Eito overheard the conversation with him and Nozomi by like hanging outside the door. Like that was an impossibility. It was him under the bed. So my assumption is that like this follows the Danganronpa trope of like, well, when you're in your room, no one can hear you or anything. It's perfectly soundproof. They just haven't gone out of their way to say it. Or even if there's a decent degree of soundproofing, it wouldn't be ear piercing, right? So I think it's more likely that the voice manipulator was used to, give off the impression that Shoma was yelling. He had his death cry or whatever earlier, excuse me, in the morning, right after the morning announcement, but he probably died earlier. Or maybe it won't even matter. Tsubasa, Nozomi, and Yugamu were in the infirmary when Hiruko and I arrived. They were standing around with grave looks on their faces. How are Shoma and Kako? Well, we managed to successfully revive Shoma. Oh, never mind. Oh, that's great. Yes, what a relief. But he's still unconscious. His physical body has been restored to full health, but it seems he hasn't recovered mentally from the attack yet. Where is he? Sleeping in his room. Takemaru's taking care of him. And what about Kako? We did put her body in the revivomatic, but alas. Hiruko clearly has some understanding of the decaying process. She didn't mention anything like blood coagulation or rigor mortis. I don't recall if they I don't recall the exact reason why, I don't recall if they stated the exact reason why you can't be revived if enough time passes. But I'm assuming like the quality of the blood, effectively, like blood coagulation is probably the direct reason for it, right? Because so when we learned about the Revivomatic, it happened before we knew about Cryptoglobin, but knowing about Cryptoglobin now, I'm assuming that the Cryptoglobin either degrades enough over that period of time, or it's no longer able to circulate. I don't know. I'm curious. There could also be a bunch of other things that factor into it too. It could be something that they don't want to get too specific about. Hiruko and I went behind the Revivomatic to look at the monitor. What was written on the screen made our hearts sink. Cause of death, respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. Estimated time of death, day 27, between 1 and 4 a.m. The same timeline. Traces of TTX poison detected in body. Oral intake of TTX presumed to have led to respiratory paralysis-induced asphyxiation. No external injuries found on body. Too much time has passed since death. Impossible to revive. The silence of the room was broken by the door being thrown open and 3 people running in. Dadomi, you're safe.
Huh.
Where were you all this time? In the rec room playing slots. You were doing what? You can't blame me. I overslept this morning and didn't see anyone in the cafeteria. I just assumed everybody was off doing their own thing. Kyoshika and I found her in the rec room and dragged her here. We've already told her about Shoma and Kako. Still, we didn't know if they'd been successfully revived, so here we are. Did it go well? Just then, 2 other people barged into the room noisily. Oh. Miss Osazuki told me what happened. I fell asleep in my dear sister's room last night, but when I woke up, she was nowhere to be found. I've been looking around for her ever since. I saw him running around the hallways like a headless chicken and brought him here. Where is my dear sister? What has happened to her? I explained the situation to everyone who had just arrived. The news that Kako could no longer be revived hit everyone like a ton of bricks. Tears started welling up in Moko and Kyoshika's eyes while Kulada was sniffling away under her mask. Dadomi alone shed no tears. She had a vacant look on her face as she stared absently into space. What's up, Bob? And as for Ima...
No! 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 Dear sister! My dear sister! No!
Ima, look on the bright side. If we treat her body and, with embalming fluid and stuff, she'll never age again, Ima. With an anguished cry, the distraught Ima lost control of all reason and started lashing out. We managed to wrestle him to the ground and pin his limbs down even as he struggled violently.
Wait here while I go grab the gamma feel.
What's that?
A powerful anesthetic. We have some in the biolab.
So obviously that connects to the mystery, right? Yugamu dashed off as quickly as he could. He came back a while later with the gamma feel, which he then injected into Ima. The drug caused Ima to weaken and slump over. Yugamu observed him closely.
All is fine now. He's unlikely to wake up before tomorrow morning.
Damn, that's a high enough dose. Yep, we said we weren't going to play the killing game. We got some free time so I could upgrade a couple characters, including Shoma. Shoma appeared to have died earlier, but was revived, luckily. That means his level 2s are okay. Thank goodness. We moved the unconscious Ima to his room and assigned Moko to watch over him. After that, we took Kako's body to the morgue. So the gamma field is probably used in some part or way to subdue either one or both of the victims. Shoma's a victim. I don't care like what. Even if he comes back. Within this particular scenario, we can treat him like a victim, right? Like we have a clear like cause of death, and we have we apparently have a decent timeline. So his death cry was potentially legit. 3 bodies? Well, so the first body is Eito, so that's from a while ago. And then Gaku died on that same timeline after we refused to leave the school. And now the third body is, of course, Kako. There were now 3 bodies lying on the tables in the morgue. Kako's body was the smallest. I kept staring at her. When I closed my eyes, I could still see her innocent smile. I couldn't believe the girl I had thought of like my own little sister was now gone. Wait, what? When did we feel this way? What? when did this happen? An indescribable ache spread through my chest at that thought. Unable to stand the pain, I forced myself to look away. Were we supposed to like develop our bond with Kako some more so we could get some dialogue? After that, we went to the courtyard to check the cages. Ava was still inside hers, the door securely locked. Hiruko and I went on to tell the others what we'd learned from investigating the gym. The improvised latch, the bottle of poison, and how there had been no one else inside. While we were talking, the sun had set and the darkness of night was slowly taking over. It was already evening. Since nobody was in the mood for a meal, we'd gathered in the leisure lounge instead of the cafeteria. You know the funny thing, by the way, the fact that we got free time means that we're potentially going to jump back to this timeline quite often just to power people up. I'm not sure. Maybe there will be other free times, but this is like the first free time we've had in, I don't know, a good, like since loop 1. Sir Takemaru, were you not supposed to be attending to Sir Shoma?
Yugamu took over. Shoma's still out cold, but he's physically fine now.
I just don't understand why Kaka would kill herself. As I've already explained, we don't know for sure that it was suicide. Hey, I'm just going to point something out here. If we think about class actions, like class armor and class abilities, if those things are supposed to be like how would I word this? If those are the ultimate talents from Danganronpa, bear with me for a second. Ignore motive for a moment. Wait, Google says Gamma-Fil is a gentle skin cleanser. What? So the previous time travel route was blocked? No. As far as I know, I think we can still just jump around freely. I was saying that like, I see what you mean. The first loop is blocked. Absolutely. Like we can't go back to the original loop. Presumably we can kind of follow like the first path we got on loop 2, if you want to call it that. I think was us trying to like my intention was trying to stay as truthful to the first loop, but only correcting the problems. I feel like that's the safest route. So we stop Sirei getting killed, but we don't tell anyone that we are time traveling, and we keep that a secret. Like that I think I've already said this, but in that position, like if somehow magically we're in this position, if I somehow reincarnated, like I would try and live my life very close to what I'm doing now, but I would make a couple single changes that would probably drastically change like my path in life, right? But you don't want to do too much. You don't want to accidentally cause, the second coming of Baby Hill. Sorry, yeah. Wait. But Gamma-Fil, so this is spelled differently, right? The Gamma-Fil that he brought up was Phiel, I think. Not to say that like you didn't spell it right, but so anyways, yeah, the spare Joey route. As I've already explained, we don't know for sure that it was suicide. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Let me complete my thought, because I think this might actually turn out to be the valid thing, as much as I kind of don't think it's going to be. So in Danganronpa, oftentimes the ultimate abilities are like partly clues into who did a certain killing or a certain murder. Darumi's class armor involves her like hovering around a bunch of knives and throwing them at will, right? So if we take that at face value and say that she has like the ability to control objects within space, she could create that locked room situation. So, and yeah, I think this is how they spelled it, Tiff. Gammaphiel. Now I'm gonna look and see, is this a real thing? Oh yeah, all I'm getting is gamma phi whatever bullshit. All right. What about whatever. I don't know. It could be Darumi. It makes so much sense that it is, right? She has the ability to move objects with her class armor. Every victim has a bunch of knife wounds or like stabs, or not every victim, but the 2 of the 3 victims have a bunch of knife stabbings, right? And what is her ability? What is her like more specific ability in combat? She's throwing out a shit ton of knives, right? We haven't found a suicide note, not in the gym, on her clothes, or in her room yet. But the gym door was latched shut from the inside. And you didn't find anyone else in there, correct? Yes, but I find it hard to accept Kako had killed herself when Shoma was clearly killed by someone else.
Oh.
Why would she even do such a thing? I won't be fully convinced until a clear reason resurfaces. Also, the reason that Shoma hasn't woken up, I think, is because he saw the killer. And as a result, like, thinking of it from like a literary sense, like a storytelling or narrative purpose, he's not awake because he knows what's happened. So it has to be someone, right? It's not a suicide because otherwise, what's the point of Shoma being unconscious at this point? He's unconscious, so he can't tell us what happens. So Shoma clearly witnessed. Now further like jumping down that rabbit hole or that thought experiment, whatever the heck you want to call it. I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place today mentally. He either witnessed something or someone leaving the gym or setting this up, or he saw someone that should not be there, which would give more credence to the idea that it's like Eito from a different timeline, or anyone from a different timeline, like Gaku. What if it's Gaku? Different time-traveling Gaku, of course, the true villain, Gaku. You can't trust poor people. Oh, why would she even do such a thing? I won't be fully convinced until a clear reason surfaces. I think she was murdered too by that sponsor who was trying to get us to join the invader hunt. They did warn us this would happen. We all heard what the recording said, remember? All who refuse to join the game will be eliminated. All who refuse, that means the rest of us are targets too.
You telling us that sponsor wants us to kill us all?
The first threatening message said something about everyone dying too. It sure did. The first and second threats. We assume they were written by different people because of the handwriting. But I'm starting to think it was the same person after all. We went against the first note. We ignored their demand to leave the academy and chose to stay behind instead. That gave the culprit an idea. I'll hold a killing game and force those guys to murder each other. But when we went against the second request as well, they decided they were going to have to do it themselves. And by it, you mean killing us. Yep, it all makes sense when you think of it this way, doesn't it? That would mean the perpetrator has already murdered 4 people. 4. Sir Gaku, Lady Kako, Sirei, and Sir Shoma. Though Sir Shoma was lucky enough to escape the jaws of death. So we're up against a ruthless serial killer here.
We can't just let someone butcher our friends and get away scot-free.
Hey, let's remember that Darumi also has like some backstory that we don't know much about. For one thing, she was getting super... Oh, why can't Kako be revived? Because she potentially poisoned herself, locked herself in the gym, and then several hours passed before she was taken to the Revivomatic. So... Precisely. But how do we find them? Haven't I mentioned this before? The killer may well be one of us. Everyone tensed up at Hiruko's words and started exchanging suspicious glances. Not everyone is a suspect, though. It would have been impossible for Takumi Tsubasa, Takemaru, or me to have done this. How can you be so sure? Oh, that's right. The four of us met each other on the rooftop this morning, immediately after hearing Shoma scream. He was stabbed at the back of the building. Even if we could teleport, there's no way he could have appeared. We could have appeared on the rooftop right after slicing him up that badly. He wasn't thrown down from the rooftop after being stabbed either. His body hadn't taken any fall damage. Just a moment. What if all four of you were working together? Yes, it would definitely seem possible from your point of view. That would also mean 1 in 3 of our team are killers. I don't think the SDU would be worth much then. That line of reasoning isn't strong enough to prove your innocence. Anyway, what were the rest of you doing at that time? I remember those who came after us were Nozomi, Kyoshika, and Kulala. Moko and Yugamu too, though they aren't here right now. Where did you guys come from? I ran from the entrance hall. I simply found myself in a group as I was heading to the back of the building. How did you know to go there? Well, I heard Shoma scream, but I chose to wait in my room first before making a move. Then I overheard you guys talking outside. You said something about the scream coming from the back of the building, remember? So I followed you to the scene of the crime. That's a good thought, though. How would we know what direction the scream came from inside our rooms? Maybe I'm overthinking that from, like, the direction of sound, but, like, if you're in those, like, prefab rooms, like, the sound isn't going to feel like it actually came from a direction unless, like, the noise, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, the natural noise, like, isolation or noise proofing from being inside of a building was really, really shoddy. Like, otherwise, it's gonna, if anything, it's going to feel like it, like, essentially came from nowhere, if you will, or if you get real specific, from, like, the weakest point of the room, if you will, in terms of isolation. Like, we're talking outlets or windows or a door, right? Nozomi and Dorumi said the same thing, but I couldn't tell if they were telling the truth. Whatever the case, there was no denying the perpetrator could have joined up with the group halfway through without anyone realizing. Your suspicions are misplaced, especially when there is a much likelier suspect to cast aspersions on. Yes, someone who didn't even show up at the crime scene. Huh? Wait, you mean me?
You were totally trying to get us all to join that stupid killing game.
So when we refused to cave after the second threat, you decided to... It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that threat. I overslept, that's all. We all shot Dorumi deeply suspicious looks. Her dismay and bewilderment were palpable. Beads of sweat rolled down her face, making her makeup run. Hey, can I say something? I think it's counterproductive for us to be doubting each other like this. How are we going to handle future battles if we can't even stay united? Let's calm down and think about things rationally. Under normal circumstances, the probability of the killer being an outsider is a lot higher than the alternative. But would an outsider be able to slip in without triggering the alarm? Well, that's... Maybe it was Ava. Impossible. We checked the cage just now, remember? She was still inside and the gate was properly locked. Not only that, I have the key right here. This is the only key and it can't be duplicated, as Hiruko said. Also, I locked my door last night, so nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was asleep. What if you were working with her? I can debunk that theory. Takumi has been with me since the morning. Even if he had let Ava out of her cage last night to stab Shoma, he couldn't have locked it back up this morning without my knowledge. You need the key to lock the cage just as much as you need it to unlock it.
That means it's one of us.
No, it can't be. There has to be a way for someone to come in without triggering the alarm. It has to be Gaku. He killed himself so that way there wasn't a pair. I don't actually think it's Gaku. But I still think that would be the best. That would be the best ending for like a joke route. Gaku in one of the timelines stumbles into the dimension leaper and ends up going crazy because of seeing all these different possibilities and timelines. There's always the possibility that nobody slipped in at all.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the killer could have already been hiding in the academy before the first team was dispatched here. That's true. If they were here already, they wouldn't have triggered the alarm. So that person's still hiding somewhere in this school right now. All of a sudden, Tsubasa raised her voice. I know, I could make an organic life detection device. Organic life?
Detection device?
Put simply, it's a machine that detects the number of large living organisms on school grounds. What if the trees are making us kill each other? It won't be advanced enough to pinpoint their exact locations, but having a precise number should tell us if there's really an outsider hiding here. You can make something like that? I found a similar function while investigating Ava's mask 2 days ago. I took the opportunity to study it thoroughly. So yes, I can make something like that in 7 days, maybe? 7 days. Until then, let's stop being suspicious of each other like Nozomi suggested. We'll assume that the killer is an outsider until proven wrong. What do you guys say? Everyone nodded in agreement. The moment I saw that, the world around me started to spin. What is this? That was the last thought on my mind before it shut down completely. We're just gonna... I guess it'll be 7 days.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine!
Why did we pass out? We don't want to write any more script. We don't want to give the player 7 days of free time.
Get ready for your 39th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy.
It's more than... What was the last day we had? I don't even remember.
Prepare to spend another day. Be ready to give your life.
I woke up to the now all too familiar sight of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. This is becoming the unfamiliar ceiling of this game. It was deja vu time. She noticed right away that I was awake and leapt to her feet with an ear-piercing scream. She scuttled frantically around the room a few times more than the last before finally coming to a stop. And then she just stood there in a daze. I watched the entire scene play out before sitting up. What day is it today? Day 39. I fainted on the night of day 27, so I've been out for 11 days. Yes, we're almost out of emergency feeding drips. Why did I lose consciousness? I didn't get stabbed on day 27, and my old wound didn't reopen. Nozomi regarded me with a somber look on my face as I mumbled to myself. Then she gave me the diagnosis. We think you have the fainting disease. Fainting disease? Listen, in this timeline, we're all just fucking with you, Takumi. Guess what? The truck didn't start up because you said it didn't start up. There was actually gas in it, but we just decided not to tell you. Oh, and by the way, when you said you had deja vu, we were like, oh, yo, what? Really? No, this is feeling more and more like Never 7 right now. Also known as psychogenic pseudosyncope? Pseudosyncope, maybe? I'm not sure. A disease that causes you to suddenly lose consciousness after being exposed to strong psychological shock or stress. Like your mind just blows out. Apparently, everything we went through in the first loop wasn't enough. I have a disease like that? Yes, after what happened to Shoma and Kaku on day 27. Your mind suffered a heavy blow, and even though you somehow made it to nighttime okay, the moment you felt like you could relax, your mind completely shut down just like that. How could you tell I had this disease? This is the 3rd time you fainted out of the blue, right? And it always takes you a long time to regain consciousness. This didn't seem like normal behavior, so we decided to scan your brain using the Revivomatics diagnosis function. You have Radical 6, or what the, is it Radical 6? Is that what it's called? I think it's 6, right? I don't remember contracting any disease like that. This is what the machine's analysis said. Traces of treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. Fainting disease likely developed as after effect. Wait, traces of treatment found on damaged parts of the brain. This might actually be legit. I'm trying to think of what this could... Maybe we should put Nozomi in there for the record. That's all I'm saying. Treatment on damaged parts of my brain? I don't know what exactly happened. At any rate, the damage isn't life-threatening and doesn't affect your cognitive functions or your judgment. So that part's nothing to worry about, at least. Easy for you to say. This means I could faint again if something stressful happens, right? Yes, but I'm sure it'll be all right. As long as we make sure nothing too stressful happens again. This really is Never 7. So, has anything changed? Changed? Like, have you guys learned anything about the killer while I was out? No, we haven't made any progress in that area. The unknown killer remains at large and we don't have a single clue to follow. Nobody's been attacked since then, so we're still alive at least. What about Shoma and Ima? Shoma's regained consciousness already, but he said he doesn't know who stabbed him. You can ask him about it for yourself later. And Ima. He's barricaded himself in his room and hasn't said much to us. Just a word or two when we deliver food to him. Needless to say, he didn't fight in the defensive battle that happened on day 33. Ima, Shoma, and Darumi sat out the battle as usual. Are those three still suspicious of me? Wait, hold on, I wanted to... Okay. Yes, they seem to think you're the most likely suspect, but even if you weren't the one, it had to be someone from the SDU. That's what those three believe. What about the device? Nozomi and I headed to the cafeteria together, where everyone except Ima, Shoma, and Darumi were gathered. When they saw me, they said things like, "You're awake," or "Thank goodness." Everyone was quietly rejoicing about seeing me on my feet again. Their reactions were a lot more subdued than before. How many times are we going to pass out before this is over? I could hardly blame them. This was the third time I'd woken up after losing consciousness for several days. At least that's what I thought. It turned out they had another reason to be despondent. The dark, gloomy aura that hung over the group indicated there was something more at play here. I finished breakfast and returned to my room. Soon after, Tsubasa came knocking. You saw how dejected everyone seemed just now, right? Want to know why? Sure. She pulled out something from behind her back. What's this? The organic life detection device. Oh, right, you finished it. 5 days ago, yeah. But now I wish I had it. Why not? Because this is the reason everyone's jumping at shadows. She turned the device on as she spoke. 13. Yep, the total number of of life forms in this academy. That's all of us, including Ava. Which means there are no outsiders in the school, and the culprit is really one of us. Unless Ava doesn't count for some reason. And then there's a 13 unknown life form, or human, inside. Yeah, that's what everyone believes now, except for me and Nozomi, that is. Why did you design it like that? Tiff asks why it's designed this way. I too kind of wonder, couldn't you make it more like the actual Dragon Ball radar? Like, you know, that way you can have the bleeps and the boops. No, but more specifically, you get like... I mean, it looks like a radar, right? Like, it's even got the graph. You even see the line go around it. Or like the line, which is, I'm assuming, making rounds. You two still think it was an outsider that did it. I don't know, but the killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma, right? The possibility of that happening seemed low to me, but I forced myself not to voice those doubts. Anyway, that's why everyone's so down. Basically, it's because they're all suspicious of one another. This isn't going to end well. Without trust, we won't be able to put up a united front during the next defensive battle. Can't you do something, Takumi? I'll do what I can to help as well. Just tell me what you need. Oh, I just remembered. I finished that other thing you asked me to make a while ago, too. What thing? You know, the remote detonator that'll trigger the bomb in Ava's body? I managed to complete it after carefully investigating her body, with her consent, of course. Tsubasa rummaged through her pocket and took out something that looked like a remote control. I took it and gripped it tightly in my hand. Thanks. This puts me at ease. I'll probably add Ava to the team starting from the next battle. Yeah, that should help out our combat power. The problem is getting the others to trust her. Oh well, I've done my part. The rest is up to you. With that, she left the room. Up to me, huh? How should I do this? What was it Tsubasa said before? The killer could have fled outside after stabbing Shoma. To be honest, I didn't think they did. I had no concrete proof, but everything that happened so far felt like part of a larger scheme that someone was orchestrating. There's still the whole point of us getting knocked out. What was the benefit? Like, whatever happens, or whatever ended up happening, needed to have a motivation behind knocking out Takumi on the night of Gaku's murder. And, well, it could be as simple as just, this is gonna make him look suspicious. More suspicious. Whatever. What about the fact that Veshnes can detonate it? Did she mention making sure no one else can set it off? I don't believe we got like actual evidence of that being a possibility or not. So I would assume that's a possibility. I don't know. At the very least, I was convinced the culprit wasn't going to stop at Shoma's stabbing. In that case, excluding myself, the killer must be one of the other 12 students at this academy. Or, I do think it's like way too likely. I mean, if we didn't know about the leaping, this would be way more difficult to come up with other explanations, right? No, wait. Shoma was a victim. If Hiruko, Tsubasa, and Takemaru and Ava were also innocent, that leaves just 7 suspects. Darumi, Nozomi, Kyoshika, Yugamu, Moko, Ima, and Kurara. I'd never willingly choose to treat any of my friends as suspects, but as it turns out, I don't have a choice right now. I won't gain everyone's trust until I identify the real culprit. And if I don't have their trust, the SDU would fall apart and everyone would be annihilated by the invaders. The only way to prevent that from happening is to reveal the identity of the killer. You must solve this future case yourself, Takumi. That was what the boy with the undying flame said. He must have known something like this would happen. At any rate, this was the only way of resolving all this that I could think of. I have to find the culprit no matter what. I clench my fists and resolve to devote myself to the investigation. Free time. Not free time. I still think this is like a gotcha moment. I don't think anyone did it. Okay, to be clear, if anyone did do it, Tiff, you're slightly suspicious of Tsubasa, right? I'm slightly suspicious of where the heck is she? Oh, there, Darumi. Dislikes life sims, you know? If things were going too well, it'd be a life sim when you think about it. That can't actually be it, right? It could explain a lot of things except why you were knocked out. Oh, not actually? I see. Yeah, Darumi seems too obvious, but like, if this is a joke ending, if this is a joke route, then it'd be fine, right? Oh, you're now suspicious of Ghost Boy? I'm taking Ghost Boy at face value. I don't think Ghost Boy is involved in this. Unless, hold on. Actually, it could be that Ghost Boy is being used. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly as you said, Tiff. Like you said, the evil is seeping into him. That could be possible. Rest in peace, poor kid. I rang the doorbell. No answer. I tried the doorknob, but it was locked. Ima, I know you're inside. Can we talk?
Hey!
I'm trying to track down the culprit, but I need something to go on. At that, a voice called out from the other side of the door. You're awake, Mr. Sumino. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can tell you. Come on, there's gotta be something. You see, I'm suspicious of you too. I think you may have been the one who killed my dear sister. What are you talking about? I didn't kill her, and in the first place, Kako, she... killed herself? Is that what you're trying to say? A preposterous suggestion. There was absolutely no reason for my dear sister to do such a thing. Unless she saw the thing on the... no. I was gonna make another bad movie joke. She had no worries, no sorrows. Even if she did develop any, she would have told me about them. My dear sister did not kill herself. I have no doubt she was murdered. Like I told you just now, I suspect that the killer may have been you, Mr. Sumino. Okay, there's also... I might be crazy, I might be paranoid, you might say whatever, but there's no guarantee that Ima is still alive either. Hear me out. Ima could be dead. The killer could be inside of there with the talk or the voice manipulator. The only reason I haven't exacted vengeance yet is because I'm not completely sure it was you. Accidentally killing the wrong person would be playing right into the hands of the real culprit. But I might lose my sense of reason if we continue to speak much longer. Can you please leave now while I'm still in my right mind? I could sense that prolonging the conversation would lead nowhere. Ima refused to respond any further to any further attempts to talk. Jesus, who would have thought killing I thought. Let's be real. I thought killing Eito was going to lead to all sorts of horrible shit. And guess what? It turns out it did. We're in front of the infirmary? Okay, yeah. Who would have thought? Not I. Definitely not me. What are you guys doing here? If it isn't the serial killer, Takumi, you're awake. I'm not a serial killer, so stop calling me that. Anyway, I'm investigating the identity of the culprit right now. Do you mind if I ask a few questions? Whoa, can you be any more shameless? The criminal's role-playing as detective now? I'm not talking to you, I'm asking Shoma. Oh, you want to know about the person who stabbed me? I've told the others a bunch of times already. I didn't get a good look at them. Wait, I thought you were sure Takumi did it. Yes, but it's not like I have any proof, so... Does that mean you didn't see the culprit when you were stabbed? No, I did see someone, but they were wearing a mask. How about the person's height or body structure? I can't be sure. They were dressed in a long black poncho thing. You must have seen some identifiable features. I was attacked the moment I turned around, so I'm afraid not. I screamed immediately, and before I realized it, I'd been shoved to the ground. I don't remember anything after that. I fainted after the first 2 or 3 stabs. The black robe is, could very well be the robed figure on, like the first appearance we saw the robed figure after a defensive battle. I know we saw the robed figure or a robed figure again, and it turned out to be the Supreme Leader. But, hear me out. Just because you have 2 people in black robes doesn't mean they're the same, right? Think about Final Fantasy 16, Huh? Yeah. I fainted after the first 2 or 3 stabs. So you don't even know if it was a man or a woman? No. Did they say anything? Actually, I did hear something as I was being stabbed. The person kept saying, "Die, die." Then you should have been able to recognize the voice. The thing is, I didn't. Why not? Their voice had been changed from a voice changer. Is this really Darumi? It does seem too obvious, but like, is she not the person that also has that voice line when she's throwing knives or doing actions in battle? But yeah, it's definitely, yeah. Maybe it's a Darumi from a different timeline. Have we thought of that? A voice changer, huh? I went the wrong way. Well, and then we got the voice recording, which sounded like...
It sounded like this, right? So...
Which I might be thinking too hard into that, but that kind of sounded like Darumi's, like, delivery, if you will. Takumi, long time no see. I heard you were out cold for a while. I woke up all of a sudden for some reason. I'm glad you did. Is there something I can help you with today? There was no point asking Ava about the case, so I decided to talk about something else. Do you remember what you told me before? It was bothering me that much. I had to choose between lying to you and eventually killing everyone here or telling the truth and joining your side. And then you said you decided to take your chances with us, right? Yes, I will no longer try to self-destruct in everyone's presence for the reasons I previously explained. Then will you fight with us instead? What? Veshness, the one who betrayed you, is still alive, right? By joining us in battle, you can personally take revenge against her and her underlings. Is that why Tsubasa asked to conduct a thorough investigation of my body the other day? So that if I ever tried anything, your team would be able to detonate the bomb inside my body remotely, using the device she made? Yes, but I just want to make one thing clear. I didn't ask for the device because I'm suspicious of you. It's just something that's needed to put the others at ease. Ava thought for a while about what I said. All right, you saved my life, so there's nothing I can do to help. So if there's anything I can do to help you, I'll do it. Thank you. Unfortunately, you'll still have to wait a while before I can let you out of here. I need to clear it with the others first. Understood, I will wait. Wait, when I do this...
It sounds like Dr. Claw. Do I sound like Dr. Claw now?
I thought I could do like a somewhat reasonable
Dr. Claw voice just this way. I'll get you, Gadget.
Without the voice changer.
I'll get you.
I haven't done it in a while. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right.
I'll get you, Gadget. I'll get you, Gadget.
Medicine, one of mankind's most eminent inventions for sustaining life and dealing death. How can I help you today, Takumi? I told Yugamu that I was investigating the case. Does that include Kako's death, too? Yes, the suspicious circumstances of her death bother me as well. My main objective was to solve the attempted murder of Shoma, but that didn't mean it was my only concern. Any information that might help solve Kako's case would be more than welcome. There were other cases to think about as well, like Sirei's destruction and Gaku's murder. But I hadn't found any further clues to those cases, despite my thorough investigation on day 24. I'm guessing that Tsubasa's radar also didn't really I don't think holding it in front of her is going to work, right? If it only says how many people are nearby, I think the way we would have to verify it is we'd have to leave the school and use it at a greater distance and then come back. Ideally, what you do, if you trust her enough, is you take Ava with you outside of the school, far enough away so you can have a controlled number of people in the group with Ava to determine if it's accurate with Ava. But they're not thinking about this, right? So I decided to focus on Shoma's case first while the trail is still fresh. Is there something bothering you about Kako's case? Yes, there is. Remember her cause of death? She'd ingested tetrodotoxin, an extremely potent poison. When we found her, she was holding a bottle labeled TTX tightly in her right hand. That bottle was originally from this biolab. So the poison was taken from here. That would appear to be the case. Whether by Kako, who then killed herself with it, or by someone else who used it to kill Kako. Is this room open to everyone? Sure is. There's no lock on the door and the cabinets are unsecured too. Anyone could have taken anything at any time. Somebody also stole some Gamma-Fuel, plus syringes and needles to administer it. So yeah, the easy way to get Kako to look like she committed suicide is, obviously injecting her with Gamma-Fuel, giving her the TTX, and then putting her in the gym and securing it somehow, right? If you did have the power of, say, Flame Boy to, secure the door at that point, or if you had some other way to secure the door from outside, that's possible. If there's a catwalk in there, did they check the catwalk? Because that's also where they hid in the classroom. That's where they hid Kulala or Osuzuki's mask. So I don't know. Maybe we're supposed to take at face value that Hiruko and Takumi searched the premise of the gym thoroughly and did not find another exit or anyone there. Gamma-Fuel, the substance he used to knock Ima out on day 27. The very same. Huh? But if it's still here, it hasn't been stolen, right? There are multiple bottles here. Several are missing. It didn't happen recently either. I first noticed the missing bottles on day 27. When I came here to get the supplies needed to help with Ima, I saw that there were already some missing. Why would the killer do that? We don't know for sure if the killer was the one who stole them. The thing is, at the proper dilution, this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing the loss of consciousness. What was the fucking drug from, pardon my random cussing for no reason, from 999 again? The drug that supposedly gets that pharmaceutical company onto the radar. Whatever the case is. Why does this matter? The substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing loss of consciousness. Could this be used to keep Takumi's condition in line? Perhaps that was what the thief wanted to use it for. Did I pass the... I did. I passed the morgue. Hiruko, you were here the other day too. What's so interesting about this place? I wanted to investigate Kako's body again. What about you? I'm here to investigate the case as well. As if your clumsy brain could ever bring us closer to the truth. Oh, be quiet. Hiruko decided to repeat herself in a hushed voice. As if your clumsy brain...
Hey!
You know what? That's not what I meant. Anyway, have you already looked at Kako's body? Yes, and the other two as well. Huh? Eito and Gaku too? Didn't we already check Gaku's body on day 24? Yes, but something happened to make me realize I needed to check it again. Syringe marks. I've discovered two surprising facts after reinvestigating Kako's body. Surprising facts. The first concerns her cryptoglobin. Her body's been almost completely drained of it.
What?
There's a cut on her ankle. Her body was likely moved somewhere and hung up for an extended time. It was returned here after being almost completely drained of cryptoglobin. When? I'll get to that later. Let me tell you about my other discovery first. Hiruko walked to Kako's body and removed the sheet that was covering it. Then she flipped the body over, and what I saw flabbergasted me. What the hell? Marks of a stolen heart. The fuck? What? Somebody cut a hole in her back, smashed her ribs, and dug her heart out. Why would anybody do that? Before we talk about that, check the other bodies as well. I did as I was told and flipped Eito and Gaku's bodies over, only to see the exact same marks on them. A large empty cavity on their backs. Well, so we don't know. This could have been done separately, right? Wait a minute. What's going on here? What indeed? Why are you so calm about this? Their hearts have been removed from their bodies. I know, that's what I've been trying to tell you. When did this happen? When we investigated Gaku's body on day 24, his back was still intact. It still was on day 27, too. I checked Eito and Gaku's bodies when we moved Kako's body here. Nobody had holes in their backs at that point in time. That means it must have happened sometime after the night of day 27. The perpetrator likely did the deed to all three at the same time. That may have been when they extracted Kako's cryptoglobin as well. Who, Ima? Simple logic dictates that the culprit behind the series of events did it. Okay, I mean, I don't know. It could still be Ima being weird and obsessive over his sister. If Ima's going to try and kill Takumi at some point in time, he's got to power up for it, right? But why? How shall I know what the culprit is up to? Perhaps they are simply a lunatic who collects hearts as a hobby. Or a gourmet who enjoys a spot of... Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. A spot of... Oh, that's actually a good point, Tiff. I do remember you saying... Or I do remember not you saying... I do remember Darumi bringing up syringes before, right? Perhaps they are simply a lunatic who collects hearts as a hobby, or a gourmet who enjoys a spot of grilled myocardium with lemon on top. Both examples are crazy. There's just one thing I can't seem to figure out. Why were the hearts extracted from the back? Making an opening in the chest would make removing them so much easier. Why go about it this way? So, doing it from the back would hide it longer. Do we know, like, I mean, I'm just jumping to, I'm making an assumption. I'm jumping to some random theory that the heart could potentially still power someone up. I have no idea, though, there. But the cryptoglobin specifically, draining a body of that, if the cryptoglobin still works, like, it's still... I would assume that would power someone up in some way, no? But why would they drain it that way? They would drain it that way instead of just sucking it from their body because okay. That's why I think the murders the murders are different from the act of draining the blood from Kako, because the original murderer didn't give a shit about the cryptoglobin outside of getting it out of their body so they could potentially permanently kill him. At least that's the assumption. But the specific removal of the cryptoglobin from Kako's body was done through a cut in the leg, as if to take the cryptoglobin. That's why I think Ima might have done it to become stronger and also to allow her to symbolically live within her or something. I don't really know if he cares about that specific part. But yeah, I think the cut in the leg on Kako and the draining of the cryptoglobin is a different act from the person killing the people. I think it's a different person. That's where I'm going with this. Neither of us could come up with anything feasible, so we decided to investigate the bodies again. But there was not a single further clue to be found. I was assuming syringe marks would be present. Huh. What was Ava's power again? Her unique commander power? She's the one that she splits up into different parts or enemies, and if you don't kill all of them at once, they revive. See, okay. I think we're actually getting into Uchikoshi territory at this point. Obviously, the characters involved and so forth, the backstories and whatnot, and potentially some of the abilities that enable some of these crimes to happen, or crimes, whatever, are a Kodaka thing. But the weirdness of the situation is getting more it's definitely more of Uchikoshi's signature or MO. Oh, thinking Ava might be part of Veshness, or Vishness, however it was specifically pronounced. I think the one difference in particular, is she actually on our report card yet? She would be, I'm assuming, at the end, if she were, so. Isn't really the similarities that they both have long hair and they both have that big clump of purple hair, at their part? What about the Rashnomatic? It's a little late for this, but the Rashnomatic looks really unique, huh? Sacred even. Oh, there's something I want to double check before we do this. I never want to use the Revival-matic as an excuse. After dying and coming back a few times, it might become an addiction. It's already become an addiction. Oh, for that lock of hair, a forelock. I'm assuming that a lot of the invaders, though, Tiff, the humanoid ones, probably look very similar if we actually saw them under their mask, with the tattoo or eye mark and stuff. Oh, you're still in the cafeteria? Don't talk to us now. We are in the midst of a very serious discussion. Nozomi just refuses to listen to reason. What's the discussion about? I still don't believe the culprit is one of us. I'm trying to tell everyone to stop being so suspicious of each other. You saw that device's total for the number of life forms in the school? Yes, but that doesn't prove the crimes were inside jobs. The culprit must have fled outside the wall of fire after stabbing Shoma. And we're trying to tell you that is not possible. To be, I forgot to even mention this, but like if it is someone with an extinguisher, ignoring like who it could possibly be or like the possibility of leaping, like it makes sense for Shoma to be stabbed outside of the school if they're on their way to leave. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense. That's one of the things that makes this idea more plausible to me. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a killer who'd stop at 1 or 2 victims. Wait, what is this link for, Tiff? Tiff linked me some, like an an image, like an old 100 line promo image, like earlier in development, and it's hilarious because like assumedly the main character is like is a combination, in this case, like an the old main character is like kind of like a combination of Takumi and Hiruko, and then there's like a goth clown looking girl who's probably Darumi. But where it gets really good is there's just a raccoon with a red scarf. And then there's just this old bald businessman who looks really devious. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. One sec. It's definitely worth bringing up real fast. Oh, here it is. So good. One sec. I gotta open image in new tab. Copy image link. That will work better, right? No, why is it gonna do this? Okay, whatever. I'll just show it this way. I love the raccoon. The raccoon's also holding like a tanto or dagger in its mouth too. Why did we not get the raccoon? The raccoon's great. I think the invader was going to be this, or one of the invaders was going to be this old guy. Maybe he was going to be the supreme leader. Golden. Oh, the child or young or short character has a recorder or some sort of like flute as well. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a killer who'd stop at 1 or 2 victims. They clearly said they wanted to kill everyone, both in the tape recording and that first message. Oh, do you think Ato's in the upper right there? But I just can't. Talk to me, say something. Huh? Well... What if the old guy is Sirei? That would have been amazing. The mascot character is just some businessman-looking guy. I stammered hard because I was more in line with Kulala's way of thinking than Nozomi's. I did feel bad for Nozomi, so I decided to simply avoid committing for now. Sorry, I just remembered I have something I needed to do. Gotta go, bye. Oh, wait, talk to me. Hey, come back here, please. I cowered away like a coward. A cowardly coward. I ignored Nozomi's pleas and quickly bolted out of the room and into the hallway. I went to the gym last. When I stepped inside, I saw that Tsubasa and Takemaru were already there. Tsubasa, Takemaru, perfect timing. I need to ask you guys about something. What is it? Remember that voice changer you showed me in the garage the other day? He's a genius! I mean, by genius, he's not entirely dumb. Is it still there?
Shoma told you about the culprit using the voice changer, huh?
Yeah, he did. You guessed right, Takumi. The device has gone missing. I knew it. The culprit stole it, huh? I think so. When did you realize it was gone? On day 28, the day Shoma regained consciousness, I went to the garage to check after hearing his story and...
The voice changer was already gone.
Yeah, without anyone realizing it. She showed us the voice changer on the afternoon of day 24. So it must have been stolen between that time and the morning of day 27, before Shoma got stabbed. What are you two doing here, though?
I did a lot of thinking myself while you were out, and I just don't believe Kako'd kill herself.
Me too. At first, suicide seemed like the only possibility based on the situation. After listening to Hiruko, though, I started to realize how unnatural the whole thing seemed.
But if she was killed, how'd the culprit get away? That's what we needed to figure out.
And so here we are.
Maybe there's a secret tunnel or something here that we completely missed, you know?
We're all here to do the same thing, then. You mean... Yes, Kako died under such mysterious circumstances that I can't stop thinking about it.
Let's check the place out together.
Yeah, and we can trust each other since all three of us here are safers. Safers. Listen, it's when you're a beta tester and a cheater, you become a beater. Those of us that can be safely removed from the list of suspects. Safers. Another quick thought too. Like if I don't know. I think my theory on Darumi has gone even further. I know she's the obvious choice, but we know she's talked about syringes before, finding syringes and stuff. And in the first loop, she gets really depressed towards the end of the like the last 20 or 30 days. She's constantly just like in the dumps, whatever. She's super depressed at that point. This isn't, I mean, like, I'm going to say as a disclaimer, obviously, like, this isn't how this works in real life, blah, blah, blah. Like, this particular drug doesn't exist, so this isn't like a commentary on actual depression or anything. But fictional depression, she probably used up all the Gamma-Feel and then started having, like, you know, major depression kick in afterwards. So with that in mind, she might also be all I'm saying is that it could have been used on Kako, though I guess we didn't find an injection point. But given the rest of the information we have and how I talked about how she'd be capable of like creating the locked room potentially, I don't know. It's just another thing that, like, links her into the current events, if you will.
Oh, that's true.
And thus we began to investigate the gym. We went around knocking on walls and floors to check for hidden doors. Some time passed before Takemaru shouted at us from the stage.
Hey, come over here. I found something crazy. You can go underneath the stage.
He was standing at the corner of the stage. Tsubasa and I hurried over. I wonder if that's what he's going to say. Oh, it's not even just that. It's literally a ladder. What in the world? No way. There really was a hidden tunnel. Or should I say, a hidden ladder. I checked this place before, but I found nothing. What did you do?
I told you I've got a dog's hearing. I knocked on the floor and knew right away there was an empty space underneath. Then I groped around the surface, and what do you know? A rotatable handle came flipping out. I grabbed the handle, pulled it, and there you have it.
Let's go see what's down there. Yeah. We slowly made our way down the long ladder. Eventually, I felt my toes touching solid ground. What I saw there was... Isn't this...
You know this thing?
Yeah, remember what I told you before? This is the escape pod that deploys on the last day. Huh? No way.
Damn.
Does that mean if we can get inside?
We can go to the artificial satellite?
We ran to the entrance of the pod and checked the door. There was a note pinned to it.
The door to this pod automatically opens on day 100. No manual override available.
Despite the note, we kept looking around for a way to open it manually. However, we were unable to find anything. What? So we didn't see Darumi or Ima, for that matter, until after like all of this happened, right? Like, excuse me, I'm not being clear enough. We didn't see Darumi or Ima until after the bodies had been discovered and taken to the Revivomatic, which is why when they both arrived, that's when they found out that Kako was dead for good and Shoma had been revived. So that lowers the number of people potentially, unless like I'm forgetting like someone not having shown up at that point in time. This pod is apparently located underneath the gym, but this is also the escape pod that they used in the first loop. Or, well, everyone except Takumi used. And then we got the gotcha moment of, oh, I guess something's happened on the artificial satellite. Nope, this thing can't be opened from outside.
How about we use a crowbar to pry it open?
Then the pod becomes useless because outer space is a vacuum. So we have no choice but to wait until day 100. We'll have to give up on the idea of boarding the pod before then.
Shit!
How did they find the pod? They discovered when they were looking for a way out of the gym that like would make it a non-locked room puzzle. They discovered the escape hatch, or a hidden path down to the pod. By the way, have you guys forgotten why we came down here in the first place?
Course not. We were trying to solve the locked room case, weren't we?
Yeah, Hiroko and I thoroughly investigated the gym after discovering Kako's body. But if the killer had been hiding in the storeroom or ladder shaft at that time, you couldn't possibly have found them.
Then after you and Hiroko left the gym, the killer got out and walked through the exit like nothing ever happened.
Which means Kako really was killed. So, I do want to point out one last thing. I'm sorry for talking so much rather than just playing the game, but like Danganronpa cases are not a lot of those cases are not like that difficult to solve. There's straight up one where like a person, the most famous one I can bring up is that the person literally writes out the killer's name in blood, but they do it upside down because it's from their perspective on a wall behind them, right? Or near them or something. Like if you're dying and you're writing the killer's name in blood and you're looking at like the surface behind you, like underneath your arm, you're gonna write it upside down relative to someone looking at you, right? Unless you have the presence to be like, well, if someone else is gonna read this, you know, I better write this upside down to myself. But yeah, that literally happens in like one of the early cases. So like Danganronpa cases are not always difficult to solve or to figure out before they even start to like discuss it. We don't have concrete proof of that yet. However, this does disprove the previous notion that it couldn't possibly have been murder. I don't fault them for not finding this at first either, for that matter. I was looking for pictures of Ava to compare to Vex, and I saw an absolutely wild clickbait YouTube icon. I'm assuming it's fake or AI generated or something, but it's crazy. Have you ever seen the Baldur's Gate YouTube pictures? Like what they do is they use that AI algorithm to give people perfect smiles, and they apply it to the character models, so they just have these smiles that you will never see in the game. Wait. Assuming for a moment she was murdered, wouldn't that also prove the killer was an outsider? Because when we found Kako's body, Takemaru, Shoma, and I were in the infirmary, whereas everyone else was in the gym. But yeah, you better be careful looking those things up because you might spoil yourself.
No, not everyone else. 2 were missing. Huh? That's right, Darumi and Ima. Ima couldn't have been the killer. He worshipped the ground she walked on. Darumi, though, she said she was playing slots or something. She could have been lying through her teeth.
But it's always possible that an outsider did it.
You made that life detection device yourself, unless you're telling me you made that number up.
I didn't know such thing. That was the correct number, but the killer could have already gotten away by the time I finished making the device, right? They made a very specific mention about the masks having air functions, 30 minutes even, with no available air. Maybe that's because they need to go through space to get here. It's possible. Oh, you mean in regards to the invaders? Maybe. We don't know anything about like how the invaders are made by the world either, or if that's even true. Like, we don't even know if world death is true, right? Just then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, an item on the ground next to the cockpit of the escape pod. It caught my eye for some reason, and I walked slowly over to pick it up. IT. Ima Tsukumo. Wait. I would have immediately not been surprised if it was something for Darumi, and it would have made me think that it was just like incriminating evidence, right? Or not incriminating evidence, sorry. Like it was put there to like throw us off the lead and really think it was Darumi. But if it's IT, Ima Tsukumo.
Hey, what's that?
A handkerchief? So it seems.
I see something embroidered on it.
It reads IT, the Information Technology Department did it.
Information technology?
Damn it. Or maybe just it, as in it girl? Could it be referring to initials of a name?
Ima.
Tsukumo. When we exited the gym, we saw that it was already nighttime. I asked Takemaru and Tsubasa to gather the others before heading to Ima's room myself. Yeah, the fact that it's Ima's handkerchief potentially, or his initials, makes me feel more like it's Darumi, right? You know what I mean? Like, especially when you think about it from this point of view, Darumi just wanted to start a killing game, okay? She just wanted to start a killing game, damn it. And she succeeded. And she needed to throw some sort of curveball. Come out, Ima. I need to ask you about something. There's still a possibility it's an outsider, though, right? Somehow it felt like he would keep hiding if I told him about the handkerchief, so I decided not to say anything for now. We found a clue that may lead us to Kako's killer. I made that assertion even though I had no solid proof she had been killed because I wanted to get him out of the room. A short while later, I heard the door being unlocked. And then Ima appeared from behind it. Okay, he's alive. You believed me about my dear sister being murdered. Yes, can you come with me? Slowly but surely, Ima nodded in assent. It girl. Yeah, no, it's It girl. It's definitely It girl. What are you talking about, Tiff? Takemaru, Tsubasa, and I took everyone to the storeroom where the escape pod was being kept. We told them how we found the place and how the pod could only be used on day 100. After climbing back out, we all headed to the cafeteria.
Huh?
So what was the clue that you found? Before that, I need to check something with Darumi. On day 27, when we found Kako's body, were you really playing slots at that time? Huh? You're still suspicious of me? Then check the machine's play log. Then you'll know for sure I was playing around that time. And how could I have possibly stabbed Shoma if I'd been hiding in that storeroom the whole time? The only way out of that place is through the tunnel, right? I wouldn't have been able to get out of the gym until the coast was clear. Mayhaps you clambered out of the escape pod's elevator shaft. I'm no Spider-Woman, and that shaft has no footholds. It's impossible to climb. The ceiling of that shaft is covered with a thick wall. It's not something that can be opened by human hands. Wait, are we really... Is the slot machine's play log really going to be her alibi? How about this? You were the one to kill Kako, but not the one to stab Shoma. You're suggesting there were 2 culprits. Indeed I am. And does number 2 ring any bells with you with regard to the situation? When we found Shoma's body, there were 2 people missing from the scene. You're suspicious of me as well. Ima's face twisted into a grimace. I hesitated for a moment when I saw his expression, but decided to show everyone the handkerchief we had found. This is the clue I was talking about. We found it in the escape pod storeroom. The letters IT have been embroidered on it. Are these initials? Wouldn't that refer to Ima Tsukumo? I thought so. This is your handkerchief, right, Ima? And the fact that it was in the storeroom means... Sir Ima killed Lady Kako. I think way more likely is that Kako had that handkerchief, right? It was probably a prized possession. And I don't know why. But potentially to wipe something, who knows? We haven't looked at like the quality or like the shape of the handkerchief. But it was on Kako. Kako gets killed or knocked out. Darumi takes it down to the elevator. Jesus, down the ladder, like whatever you want to call it, and drops it there potentially, or drops it there purposely. Like it could be that too, obviously. Are you out of your mind? Me kill my very own dear sister? I think his reaction was because he realizes how it looks, right? But I don't know. Dude, I don't know. Like, the relationship these two have is clearly not healthy, right?
I didn't think that was possible either. Unless Ima was the one to stab Shoma and Darumi was the one to kill Kako. Ima dropped the handkerchief in the storeroom when he was casing the joint.
I told you it wasn't me. You think Miss Amamiya and I were accomplices, and that I tacitly approved of my dear sister's murder. That's no different from accusing me of killing my dear sister myself. You're all crazy. I can't believe that thought even crossed your minds. So you deny the charges? Of course I do. Then explain yourself. Why was your handkerchief in the storeroom? That's because... You see, you are feeling guilty. No. No. No, 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 no. Oh, the slobber time. Ima dashed out of the cafeteria screaming. Wait, Ima! We all dashed after him. Ima grabbed the fire extinguisher in the entrance hall before running outside. We followed him as he ran out of the building. He was running at full speed through the schoolyard, and none of us could catch up. Finally, he tore through the wall of fire and ran to the other side. We followed behind. When we got to the city ruins, something unexpected happened. All of a sudden, a large object shaped like an onion appeared out of nowhere and captured Ima, who had been running ahead of us. Ima! The onion object that then flew high up in the air with Ima and vanished out of sight. What just happened? And what was that thing? I'd seen that onion-shaped thing before in the previous timeline. That was probably a commander.
And that's how a true lady slaughters her prey.
He got absorbed by the mother of all blooming onions.
Are you serious? Ima's been captured by the enemy?
No way. That can't be true. It's all right. We can probably figure out where they went. What? You know how Ima's been rather emotionally unstable lately, right? So much so, I thought he might just end up going missing one day, so I secretly planted a transmitter in his body when bringing food to him. We should be able to see where they took him from the war room. You clever girl, you. Okay, let's all head back for now. We traced the transmitter and quickly figured out exactly where Ima had been taken. It was the enemy relay station we had visited in the previous timeline. We immediately started making a plan to get Ima back. After some discussion, we decided to split into 2 teams. The rescue team, me, Hiruko, Takemaru, Tsubasa, and Kurara. The defense team, Nozomi, Moko, Kyoshika, Yugamu, Shoma, and Darumi. We must have gotten our uniforms on off camera. Must we rescue him even though he may very well be the killer? It's not set in stone yet. What if it was all a mistake? Could you ever live with the fact that you abandoned an innocent friend? I knew you would say that. I was just making sure. Having only 5 people on the defense team is not very reassuring.
Yeah, can't we add 1 more or something?
No, what if the enemy attacks in the meantime? We can't afford to be lax on home security. In that case, Takumi. Yeah, it's time. Everybody, follow me. Sir Takumi, Lady Ava is out and about now. Why have you done such a thing? Yes, as you can see, I lit her out. But why? I intend to let her join the rescue team. Huh? I explained about the bomb in Ava's body and the remote detonator we had made to trigger it. And you really think this will work? If you feel she's acting suspicious, you can press the button to blow her up yourself. Huh? I put the remote detonator into an astonished Hiruko's hand. Now do you feel reassured? Hiruko fell silent at my words. After a few moments, she said, "Have it your way." Thank you for having me on the team. I look forward to being useful to you. All right then, we'll be right back with Ima. Good luck. Stay safe. The rescue team set off for the enemy relay station where Ima was being held captive. By the time we got close to the relay station, the sun was just starting to rise. We got off the bus and climbed up a small hill to survey the relay station so we could reuse the same artwork we did before. All right, now let's park the bus in the middle of the battlefield so we have to protect it.
We don't know where exactly Ima is being held in this base, but that doesn't matter. Let's just bust in there and start kicking ass and taking names.
Kulala is winking right now.
Yeah, you guys already saw how that commander could fly.
That has to be Quenzele.
Quenzele? Is that his name?
Yes, and he's an absolute creep. Feel free to make mincemeat out of him.
A flying enemy? Sounds like a headache already. How do we even get to him? We'll be fine with my specialist skill on our side. I'll whip up some surface-to-air artillery and knock him down in one shot. The thing is, I'll have to start crafting it after he actually appears.
Why? Can't you just make it now?
This particular weapon can only hold its shape for 5 minutes. After that, its internal pressure will cause it to explode.
Got it. Guess there's no helping it then.
Okay, guys, let's do this. Special Defense Unit, move out.
Yep, just like the Danganronpa elevator, like everyone has one spot. Never gets old. Wait, she's using artificial class armor as well? Just like Nozomi. Oh wait, is this gonna be another of those sneaking things? Yeah, annihilate all enemies in one turn. Special fitness, attack +2 when user attacks after moving.
Leave this to me.
Ava is a long-range attacker that specializes in attacking while moving. Her specialist skill, Special Fitness, automatically gives her attack +2 when moving and attacking. Oh, I don't have any of her other abilities. No. Oh, I can sword and one-shot these things. These blow... Oh, damage is 8 enemies. Wait. Attack is 5. Okay, so it'll one-shot everyone anyways.
Now
I
then,
see.
to business.
Leave it to me.
Leave it to me.
Let's go. Good to go.
12, 15, 22 though.
I'm ready to go.
Full throttle.
I should be
Ready when you
utilizing Takumi though to get more bar, right? And these do 5 damage. I can eat some of this too. It shouldn't be a problem. All right, let's make sure I know what I'm doing here, right? So I can always refresh or whatever, reload if I screw it up, right? Yeah.
Take this! All right. Ready when you are. I've got this. Let's do this. Ready when you are. Good to go. Take that!
I'm good whenever. Shifting gears.
Thank you very much.
Say when. Take this! Got it! Let's go. Here! All right. I've got this. Ha!
Locked and loaded. Ready when you are. I'll protect you. I'm taking the wheel.
Say when. Here! Got it! I've got this. There!
Oh, I should have done the air blade. Whatever, it's fine. And now we can one-shot everyone here.
Ready whenever.
That's level 3. That gives us 11.
I'm fully prepared.
7. I think she probably has the best. That's 11. Maybe not. Maybe not. What
Rev it
about
up.
you? 10.
Make way. I'm good whenever.
Time to move.
Ready when you are.
12. 14.
Yeah! Let's do this. There!
15. That, I think, is the highest we could do. Oh, we can just annihilate all.
My turn. Here we go.
Locked
My turn.
Leave it to me.
Leave it to me.
Shifting gears.
Understood.
Ready when you are. Say when.
Hauling ass! Rev it up!
Time for that. My turn. Ready whenever. My turn. How's this? Broken so soon.
Good to go.
Oh, I probably didn't need to do that. I could have done this first, right?
Let's freaking go!
Oops, that was the right one.
Get out! Oh yeah!
I'm taking the wheel. I'll protect
Save
you.
my ass!
Let's do this.
Hauling ass! Knocked it out of the park!
My turn. Let's go. Let's do this. Harder. Let's go. Take that! Oh, let's do this. Take this! Got it. Let's go. There! All right.
Let's freaking go! Let's give it to him! Here we freaking go!
Say when. Gotta push it.
Oh wait, they might not even attack those two. Because they're
Now
gonna go
then,
after the bus,
to
right?
business. Right here.
Locked and loaded. Just a quick drop off.
Good to go.
Yeah, I didn't think that through. Well, this will surely handle most things. Surely.
I'm good whenever.
Yeah, no one even stuck around
Let's
for
do
these
this.
guys. Feels sad.
Yeah! Got it. Ready when you are. Take this!
Let's freaking go!
I'm fully prepared.
I'm taking the wheel. Shifting gears.
Appreciate it. Leave this to me. Here goes.
Let's do this.
15 versus 15. Okay, same difference.
Let's do this!
Leave it to me.
My turn. All right.
Rev it up!
Understood.
I guess we make a little more by
Time
doing
for
this.
battle.
Cranial.
Die.
Let's do this!
I'm taking the wheel. Out of the way.
Now, do you understand that I would never betray you?
I shall reserve judgment until this entire battle is over.
Where's the commander?
That Quenzele guy?
He should be here any time now. Aha. Speak of the devil.
I am the paragon of repulsion, Quenzele. I'll be sure to make it agonizingly painful when I kill you. Go ahead, scramble for your ugly lives. You won't escape from me.
He's finally here, like moths to a flame.
Everybody, cover Kurata while she crafts the artillery.
Understood.
Got it!
We're gonna have enemies behind us too, I bet. Osuzuki is gonna be the one to hang back there, I think. And then if we keep... Yeah, this will work out. Tip. Oh, look, gross guy.
I've got this.
Now then, to business.
Oh, so it... I see, okay. So it's specifically her that we have to defend rather than this thing. Interesting, interesting. But yeah, there will definitely be people back here, I'm assuming.
Ready when you are. Take this! All right, let's do this. Say when.
Full throttle!
Leave this to me.
Ready when you are. Are you okay?
Thank you very much. I'm fully prepared. Be gone! You're finished!
Good to go. Here we go. Time to use it. Ready when you are.
Let's do this! Let's do this!
Time to move. Take this! That was satisfying.
Leave it to me. This should slow them down. I'm good whenever. Just a quick drop-off. Leave it to me.
So these two are... Wait.
Let's freaking go!
I've got this.
Yeah, this works.
Go. Say when.
21, 19. Okay, so this technically is better.
Yeah! Oh, let's do this. Got it. Here we go.
Could kill that one too.
Take this.
Oh wait,
Say
wait!
when.
I just realized I'm at max voltage already. Whoops.
I'm ready to go.
Hauling ass!
Here we go.
Locked and loaded. Keep it coming.
I've got this. Let's go. Yeah!
All out of gas.
Why there and not this? Why not this side? There were 4 targets here. Damn. Also, what?
Let's do this.
Why didn't this move and attack him?
My turn.
My turn. Ready when you are.
Full throttle.
Let's do this.
Ready when you are.
Good to go.
I'm good whenever. Leave it to me. Locked and loaded. Shifting gears.
I've got this. That's it. Got it. My turn. Ha!
I need to use more voltage.
I'm fully prepared.
All right, let's get started.
Hauling ass. Let's do this. I'm all fired up.
That barrier will break on the next turn from these 2 units. And we can wipe them
Ready
out
when you are.
using impact, stab, or whatever. Life will be good.
Don't try to stop me.
No.
Ready when you are.
I guess sometimes it doesn't. It's not always for the best, huh?
Say when.
I'm good whenever. Shifting gears.
Thank you very much.
Full throttle.
I'm taking the wheel.
Let's do this.
Just making sure. Okay, yeah.
Leave it to me. Are you okay?
I'm just getting as much
Here we
voltage
go.
out of this fight because I think this is the last enemy. Otherwise, it'd be fine to like wait on.
Told you it wouldn't take long.
It'd otherwise be good to like wait on, wait and store up AP.
And that's how a true lady slaughters her prey.
She's saying the same thing as before. Just a different background.
Precious.
Ready when you are. Good to go.
I'm taking the wheel.
So this thing is just blocking
Leave it to me.
people at this point, right?
Rev it up. Let's do this.
Oh, I got an idea.
Shifting gears.
Save my ass.
Locked and loaded.
I don't have the ability to. So I have 4 AP.
I'm taking
I think my highest damage at this point could potentially be her
Let's get
with
started.
6 damage. So like, the only reason I'm able to attack a shit ton in one turn is because I'm constantly killing these units, right? That give me more AP. But if I'm not dealing damage to them, to the boss at the same time, it kind of like goes away, if you will. So what I'm going to do here, I moved her here to give them more movement. This is important because Takumi's going to have to walk around this enemy, get here to do a double stab.
Let's do this.
Now he can go like this. Oh, actually, hold on. Before I do that, attack potion.
This should slow them down.
That's actually the bigger reason why she comes here, because now I can use one attack potion for both of these guys. Though in hindsight, I think about it now, I probably have enough attack potions for everything. But you never know. Sometimes it takes a while to... Oh, I could just wipe out all of them here. That wasn't part of the initial strategy, though. But yeah, the most damage I can do in a single attack specifically is going to be this, right? Azure Blitz. But anytime I use this, unless it's self-sacrificing, which kind of feels weird to do it because technically speaking, we can't die when we're away from the school, right? But I think they just like jump away and be like, I'm fine, I'm just leaving right now. Kind of like Fire Emblem with story important characters. But yeah, regardless though, if I use that in my, I can use it once with Voltage, but then I'm stunned for 2 turns. And if I use it at low health, they have to leave the battle afterwards. So, and normally what I could do is just use a character, use Nozomi specifically to heal the stun. Nozomi's not with us, unfortunately. And unfortunately, the other item that could potentially do it, but I mean, technically, I don't think it does. It heals status effects, which stun is a status effect. But this item, or items in general, can't be used when you're stunned. So that kind of throws a wrench into that as well. Because trust me, I've definitely tried to boss rush before, and it's gotten hairy as a result. That's what we did with Ato specifically. But yes, every time we use a special, we end up getting stunned in some way. And
I'm ready to go.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we have that many high damage characters when it comes. I mean, outside of Takumi having 14, 12 normally, I think.
I've got this. Let's do this.
I guess technically it's more if he gets more attack if people die on his team as well, right?
Let's
but yeah, I don't know if I've let anyone die. during one of these fights. Okay, so he can go here. What is his damage now?
Let's go.
It's 3.
Full throttle. Oh yeah! My turn.
But yeah, what I probably plan on doing is just focusing on... actually, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. That's just an attack from a distance. This guy these guys I don't want to hit anyone. That's for sure. Or this guy for that matter.
Good to go. All right. Say when.
This is flight.
I've got this.
So the 5 versus 6. That's still good damage, and I could just hit this like...
Let's go.
I could deal damage to these all at once.
Here we go. I've got this. Ha! Got it. Let's go.
Oh my god, my voltage again is so high.
Here we go. Good to go. Harder.
Wait, hold on. I have
Let's
an
go.
idea.
This should do it. Not there yet. All right.
This should deal
It's all right.
fairly good damage, right?
Yeah! Got it! I'm not done yet. Yeah! Oh, not there yet. Ah! Got it! I'm not done yet. Not there yet.
Maybe I can, like, just barely using the desperation potion.
It's all right.
Get a one-shot out on this boss.
Here. Oh, that all you got?
An additional 2 damage there on this.
It's all right. Hauling ass.
That's 8.
I'm not done yet.
But he does just as much damage doing this on him. So I think we just use up the additional AP. So, okay. So hold on. So it's, 6 turns, 8. Yeah, okay.
Not there yet. I'm not done yet. Not that. Not there yet.
And who knows, we might be able to do more damage. Or get more voltage back too fast.
I'm not done yet. It's all right. That's it. I'm not done yet.
Wait, does he have a counter? I should pay attention to that. There might be a counter here. So I'm not gonna get
That
close.
all you got? Ha! Not there yet. That's... It's all right. Gotta push it.
Do I get more for killing? I think I do.
All you got?
So that's...
There! Got it! Not there yet. Ha! It's all right. I'm not done yet.
Just in case.
Time to use it. Good to go. One last strike.
Takumi's so broken.
Not like this.
The pain. It hurts. Why do this? What has prompted this cruelty?
Serves you right, Quenzele.
You're... Ava. I noticed you were here a while back, but... Does this mean you've switched allegiances?
Yes. It's not as if I had any future in the Sovereign Army anyway.
Suddenly, Quenzel broke off and stared at something behind us.
Overlord Vashnes!
What?
We all turned around at the same time, but...
Huh? There's no one there.
Don't tell me.
We turned back around, but it was too late. During those precious few seconds, the defeated commander disappeared completely.
He got away?
Freaking coward.
I guess you could say that Quenzele has been... quenceled.
Trigger the bomb. After the battle, we split up to look for Ima. It took a while, but I eventually found him locked up in a cage.
Are you all right? Hold on. I'll get you out now.
Mr. Samino!
I swung my sword down on the lock and it broke apart with a loud noise. I opened the door and quickly guided Ima outside, but then... I saw something flashing out of the corner of my eye, right next to the cage. The next moment... I instinctively grabbed Ima from behind. The snap action meant my body shielded Ima from the brunt of the blast. A scalding pain ripped through my back. I choked down a cry of pain and asked,
Ima, are you okay?
We're gonna pass out for another 10 days.
Yes. But what about you?
Yeah, don't worry about me. As long as you're fine.
Huh? Mr. Samino?
Sumino-san!
Mr. Samino! Mr. Samino!
To be fair, we only needed 1 day of free time, so now we can just keep jumping back to that free time and then jumping back to the present, right? We're fine. Day 50! Boom! Listen, they didn't tell the artist Ima was or wasn't in class armor.
Rise and shine!
Maybe they all went into class armor when they ran outside. Who knows?
Get ready for your 50th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy. That's right, folks, you're halfway there, like a lizard on a chair. You're stepped in blood so far, returning would be as tedious as to go o'er. There's no turning back now. In honor of the occasion, your commander would like to hand out some presents, but if you're hearing this recording, it means your commander is no longer with you.
What?
So, no presents for anyone today! Too bad, so sad. Try not to be mad.
But when we got day 50 last time, he didn't say this. On day 50 and the first time through, he was just like, "Come meet me at so-and-so." I woke up to the expected sight of an unfamiliar ceiling, of Nozomi sitting right in front of me. This time, she wasn't shocked at all. Instead, she looked at me with a gentle softness in her eyes.
Morning. You're awake now?
I didn't have to ask about the day since it was mentioned in the announcement just now.
It's day 50 today.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about the feeding drips. We went to the second academy and brought a whole lot back.
Yeah, I think this is way more important than we're letting on here. So, he didn't have a contingency message before, but he does now. So he must have prepared it just in with the thought process that he would go and replace it if he was still alive, right? But why would he suspect that he could be destroyed again? That's what I'm asking. I think this has to be like a clue. Or it's just a fun little thing they did, and we're looking too much into it.
Oh, thanks as always.
You should thank the others too. They were the ones who actually got the drips, and I wasn't the only person taking care of you while you were out.
I sat up in bed. For some strange reason, I wasn't feeling any aches or pains. You seem fine physically. The truth is, your external injuries weren't as bad as they seemed. Which means the real reason I was out for such a long time was because of the fainting disease. I think so. Has anything changed? If you mean the murder cases, we haven't made any progress. Ima and Darumi are still denying they were working together. Tsubasa and I don't believe they did anything either, but the others. Oh, something else has changed, though. Ima's been taking part in the defensive battles. What? You shielded him back at the enemy relay station, remember? He said he's joining the fight for you. I see. That said, he's still as reticent as ever, and hardly ever leaves his room otherwise. Who can blame him, though? Other than Tsubasa and me, everybody's suspicious of him. But he did say that he was willing to tell you and only you everything. Really? Yep, so go find him later, okay? Later? Were you expecting me not to act right now after what you just told me? I jumped up and dashed outside immediately. I'm perfectly healthy. Oh, this is the first time we get to see inside of his room. Why did we have to zoom in so fast? Mr. Sumino, first of all, thank you for saving me that day. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Don't mention it, really. What I really want to hear from you is some answers. Ima nodded firmly. I was going to tell you everything after you woke up anyway. Not only because I owe you a debt of gratitude, but also because I'm now sure you couldn't have been the killer. Because the real killer would never risk his own life to save me like that. It is my deepest desire to... That is my feeling as well. The ellipses from Takumi there. Hey, thank you very much for the follow, Fancyco. It is my deepest desire to find the person who killed my dear sister, and then smash their face with a hammer over and over again until there's nothing left of it. Yet I am but a detective's assistant. I do not deal well with deductions. So I have decided to entrust this earnest wish of mine to you. I have the utmost confidence that you have what it takes to bring the truth to light. I intend to do just that as soon as I get some answers from you. Now, first of all, why didn't you kill Darumi? What? You think the killer is one of us, don't you?
Yeah!
Yes. When Kako's body was found, you and Darumi were the only ones not in the gym. Unless you were the killer, but that can't be right. That can't be, right? Of course not. If so, from your perspective, only one other person could have been hiding in the storeroom at that point of time. None other than Darumi, yet you didn't go smash her head in with a hammer until there was nothing left. Why not? Mr. Sumino, I see what you're getting at, and you were right. It was because I knew it was possible for someone else to have been my dear sister's killer. Because there's a hidden exit in that storeroom, right? He nodded slowly in response to my question. Well, that opens up the door again. Opposite the cockpit section of the escape pod lay a heap of metal containers. When we moved the heap away, we found a large ventilation shaft. Is this it? Yes. It's big enough even for Takemaru or Moko to pass through. You are quite right. Have you ever gone inside before? No, sir. I stuck my head into the shaft but couldn't see anything in the pitch black darkness. When did you realize there was a storeroom here? About day 10, I would say. My dear sister found the entrance first. She was the one who brought me here. Maybe they didn't find it in the first loop. Well, I keep saying loop, but the first playthrough is not a loop, right? We loop when we go back. Because otherwise I question why they would be so hesitant knowing that there's an escape pod here. Perhaps they questioned whether the escape pod was legitimate. I don't know. After that, we would secretly visit this place together whenever we had some free time. It became something like a secret hiding spot of ours. Why didn't you tell anyone? I did not tell you before because I thought you were my dear sister's killer. I did not tell the others because, well, promise me you will not get angry. Yeah. Because my sister and I had intended to flee this place together in that escape pod. That's not possible. The door can't be opened manually. We thought we could do something about that by tinkering with the control system in the war room. I sighed and continued the conversation. But you kept this place a secret even after Kako was murdered. If you'd told us about it, we'd be able to accept your assertion that Kako hadn't killed herself. I promised my dear sister that no matter what happened, I would never tell anyone about this place. She had tears in her eyes when she made me promise. I want us to live together in the Tokyo residential complex again, just the two of us. But we have to get out of this place first. We'll be killed one day if we stay here.
Yeah!
I believe I may have dropped the handkerchief at that time. When I was putting it back into my pocket after wiping my dear sister's tears away. This place was our sanctuary. We didn't want anyone else invading our space. Even after my dear sister lost her life, it felt like I would be desecrating her memory by allowing someone else in. That is why I told nobody. Large tears started rolling down Ima's cheeks, and I wordlessly held out his handkerchief to him. Ima accepted the handkerchief and clenched it tightly in his hand. He squeezed his eyes shut, and for a long time after that, his shoulders trembled non-stop. After Ima had calmed down, we climbed back up to the surface. Tsubasa was in the garage as usual when we stepped inside. Ima, you're an unusual sight around here. Even more unusual than me being awake? I mean, I already heard about you from Nozomi. She's been going around telling everyone the news, you know? Anyway, what's up? Just wanted to know if there's a recon drone anywhere around here with lights and cameras if possible. Yes, but what do you need it for? It's kind of hard to explain. Can you just come with us and bring the recon drone? We need it to solve the case. I mean, yeah, it could be that she was having a premonition of the future, and that's why she was so, she was struck with tears. It could also be why, it only happened in this route because she, had a premonition about about her dying. And maybe Ima gets killed too, for all we know. Who knows? Tsubasa blinked a few times in quick succession at Ima's words. All right, give me a sec. Uh-oh, if there's a ventilation shaft here, that means I see how it is now. Yeah, exactly. If Kaku was killed, the presence of this shaft makes everybody in the academy a suspect, including the Safers for Shoma's case. Including me. Yet you still brought me here. Does that mean you trust me? Kind of. Sort of. You don't sound very sure. I'll take it, though. Okay, let's start. Thanks. We used the drone to investigate the ventilation shaft. As a result, we were able to make a few major discoveries. Right, in summary, this is what we've learned. First of all, the shaft bends in a zigzag shape a few times and extends towards the school building. It splits into a grid structure halfway and connects to different parts of the building.
Oh!
Anyone using this can basically exit from anywhere they like. It really is Among Us. However, the bends are extremely narrow and people our size can't possibly get through them. He's shorter than Tsubasa. Look, the meme route's still available. Maybe Gaku from a different timeline is the killer. He's also poor, so he might be skinnier because he can't afford food. There's only one person I can think of that's small. Only someone with a body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. The baby. I'm more concerned about what we found halfway. Yeah, me too. This thing, right? Why would he? What's the motivation? This thing got caught on a protrusion in the interior wall. Thankfully, we were able to retrieve it because I had the foresight to attach a robotic arm to the drone. It's a piece of cloth, right? A square green piece of cloth about an inch long. I looked at Ima and Tsubasa. They looked back at me with wide, questioning eyes. It was apparent they hadn't yet realized the grave implication behind this. Maybe a certain incident had blinded them to the existence of that possibility. I put the piece of cloth in my pocket, looked them both in the eye, and said, Tell everyone to gather at the gym at 7 p.m. tonight. Huh? This is quite sudden. Please, just do it. They turned to look at each other. I don't mind. What will you be doing until then? Well, you'll see. I had enough proof to make my case, but I wanted just one more piece of key evidence. So I went to the back of the school, to the place where Shoma had been stabbed. I spent a few hours thoroughly investigating every nook and cranny. Before long, the sun set and my shadow started growing longer. It was at that time I found something, a faint trace of blood on a corner of a rock. It was maybe 30 feet away from where Shoma had been stabbed. I didn't think blood from his injuries could have sprayed that far, which meant there would be no one in front of him to stab him. But what is the actual motivation here? Why would Shoma do this? Was Shoma possessed? He wouldn't fake a memory, though, if he was possessed. Did at some point in time Shoma get replaced with an invader? I'm trying to think of if there was like a split up at some point, because we do know that there is an invader that can take on the forms of humans or of the defense unit. I hesitate to say humans because I don't know. There's still a possibility. No one is a human here. I entered the gym at 7 p.m. sharp to find everybody already gathered there. God, this is such a cursed timeline. Ava, you're here too. Yes, I have received an official release. I've been given Eito's room and do not have to sleep in the cage anymore. All credit goes to Takumi and Tsubasa. The remote detonator you suggested has allowed everyone to accept my presence with the greatest peace of mind. I duplicated the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi. No, I don't need one. That aside, what are we all here for? Maybe we should take it from a certain somebody. Well, you see, I turned my gaze upwards, then slowly lowered my head
I
dramatically.
figured out who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma.
Huh?
Have we fought the mind control one? That might have been one that was done off camera, right? Or off camera, off screen. You know what I mean? Because we had other commanders that I'm assuming we fought. When Tsubasa, or not Tsubasa, when Takumi was unconscious. I think the mind control. Wait. Yeah, okay. There's kind of two mind control ones, right? There's the pop star, which is like way later, and that's more of a hallucinating one. And then the mind control one, which is shortly after the students from Group 2 come, right? Or from number 2. I'll use their shorthand. Mr. Sumino, wait a minute, please. You just said with absolute certainty that my dear sister was indeed killed. Yes, the situation points to that fact. Who did it? Ima, I need you to promise me something first. Promise you won't lay a finger on the killer when you realize who they are. I won't tell you the truth unless you promise me that. I saw him gritting his teeth with a scowl on his face. Still, he nodded firmly and said, I love his grunts. Fine, I promise that. I won't lay a finger on that accursed scum.
Good. All right. Much as I wish I didn't have to do this. Here goes.
Shouldn't we take the remote out of their hand?
The person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma. It was. The name of that person is.
Huh? What's this? What's the final thing? I don't see anything there. Oh, no, that's the vent. Sorry, I thought that was the background for a second. The person who killed Kako and stabbed Shoma is... It was Eito, clearly! Eito is the one! No way. It's not going to let me do this, right? Surely it's not going to let me do this. The real killer is... him! Eito Aotsuki! Sorry, what? Huh? Eito's long dead, though. Yeah, you killed him yourself, Takumi.
What the hell? I don't get what you're getting at all. And I think that makes you the killer, Takumi.
I feel the same. Indeed, he's behaving very strangely. One after another, the others started voicing their agreement, and I found myself unable to offer any rebuttal. You leave us no choice but to lock you up. Wait, this is a mistake. I was just joshing you guys. Oh, it's great. In the end, I was detained by the others and locked inside the cage in the courtyard. What possessed me to even say that, I couldn't remember. But it was too late for regrets. I had no strength left to even sigh. Only a little while later, my consciousness fled from me. I had no idea how long I was unconscious. When I next opened my eyes, I saw that the cage had been unlocked. Unsure of what that meant, I pushed the door open nervously and stepped outside. It was eerily silent all around. There were no signs of life anywhere. Wondering where everyone had gone, I decided to walk around the campus and search for them. I went to the garage on the ground floor first. I opened the door and stepped inside, where I found...
Darumi.
I hadn't even needed to check. She was clearly already gone. I went closer and touched her arm anyway. It was scaly and dried to the touch. It had been quite a while since she passed. I checked her back and saw a large gaping hole there. Her heart had been removed through her back. Hold on, there's something I want to double check something real quick. What are his dislikes? Convenience stores at night. Okay.
Why would someone do this?
No, this is the good end because we know it was Eito. I put that disturbing thought aside and quickly continued searching for the others. My next destination was the library. As soon as I entered, I saw...
Kyoshika!
I checked her body. She wasn't breathing and had no pulse. Judging from how cold she felt, I knew she had died a while back as well. I flipped her body around gingerly. Her back was still intact. Her heart hadn't been stolen. I decided to search all the classrooms thoroughly. Then I checked the first floor, second floor, third floor, and even checked the roof. But there was nobody to be found. My last destination was the gym. The moment I opened the door, I could hardly believe my eyes.
What happened here?
There's Tsubasa. There's Yugamu. Is that Ima? That's strange. Like, looks like he's suffocating, or might be holding like a cut neck. That is Hiruko, a certain tomato, and Moko. You know, just saying, there's no Gaku here. I checked everybody's bodies. They were all cold to the touch, just like with Darumi and Kyoshika.
No, wait. Maybe.
Clinging to a ray of hope, I moved everybody to the infirmary, but... Too much time had passed since death. Impossible to revive was all the monitor would say. I thought I heard the sound of my heart breaking when those words flashed across the screen for the 6th time. I felt nothing, not even sadness or despair. I simply turned over their dead bodies mechanically and emotionlessly. Hiruko, Tsubasa, and Ima's hearts had been dug out of their backs. Kulala, Moko, and Yugamu's backs remained intact. Why? There has to be something I'm missing. I don't get why it's inconsistent. Oh, it's people from the first school, from number 1, that have had their hearts removed, and people from number 2 have not. That's what it is. But I was no longer capable of reasoning this through. My mental faculties had been taken over by a thick, impenetrable fog. I left the building and walked around the back. What greeted me there was a familiar sight. Shoma. The sight of a dead body that had been divested of its heart. I wondered where my own heart had gone. I could no longer feel it beating, like it had stopped. It felt like time had stopped, like the world had stopped. Everything had stopped. But time had not stopped, as proven by the gradual darkening of my surroundings. I wandered around the academy with no purpose until I finally stumbled upon the 10th dead body. To be more precise, the 10th and 11th dead body.
Takimaru. Ava.
I checked Takemaru's back. His heart had been taken, ripped out of his body. Ava's back was untouched. No other part of her body had been cut either. I stood rooted to the spot in a daze for quite some time. Then a passing soundless breeze blew past. The breeze jolted me to my senses and the gears in my head started turning again. 11! I was put in the cage on day 50. How many survivors were there at that time? Including myself, there were... The very next moment, a great amount of blood suddenly started spurting out of my neck. I understood for the first time in that moment that I was still alive. At the same time, I realized I would be dead in 2 seconds, but I had no way of telling if that prediction of mine came true or not, because by then my existence had already been erased from the world. So, I think we can skip this, right? 93 mystery route, lost in darkness. I did not think it was gonna be that dramatic. I kind of assumed it was gonna be some joke ending. Oh, but does the game want us to choose Nozomi? You understand what I'm saying? Like, what I'm a Super Saiyan? Mystery route. Hold on. These all have names, right? I was not paying attention. Is there a way to go to... So this is mystery route. This is join the invader hunt. So this is invader hunt route, I'm assuming. Okay, so only once you get onto a route do you get like the name of it, right? So I'm curious, do we have a name of this route yet? We do not. All right, let's go back up. So what I guess what I'm getting at specifically is I'm assuming the game wants us to guess Shoma, right? Because that's what the evidence really feels like it leads up to. Or when I say evidence, it's not even like all of the evidence for that matter. Yeah, we can go back to 50. It's not even all of it, right? Like what the actual evidence points at, in my opinion, still is like kind of split up between people. But the Shoma thing in particular, like... Well, okay. I also don't know. I don't know if the game was trying to get us to feel this way or not. But like, fuck, I don't know. Well, we're gonna say Shoma first, right? And then we'll say Nozomi before a decision. What if I say Gaku first? Let's just go through Gaku. Yeah, there's only one person, or I guess you could say that's green. It's more like olive or whatever. What? Not all. You know what I mean? Like military, whatever. Yeah, we're here. Okay. That's surely gonna lead to the same direction, right? The same route. I'm assuming any other joke choice is going to lead to the same route as well. So, do ourself? No, it's gonna lead to the same thing, right? Is Takumi the one behind this? Obviously, we can't trust ourselves. Green tomato. Oh. The real killer is... It was me, Takumi Sumino. That's what I've been saying from the start. But me too. Well, I had a feeling. One after another, the others started voicing their rebuttals, and I found myself unable to offer any rebuttal. You leave us with no okay. So this is already going to be start of before decision. I'm glad we did it, at least just for the reaction. But yeah, the Nozomi thing, like what are the clues that actually lead to Nozomi? So we know why she's taking the blood. I can't believe I forgot about this. She's taking the blood to keep her rejection syndromes at bay, right? Because in this timeline, we haven't been able to actually absorb much Commander blood. So that makes sense. But I would have guessed Shoma by the way the game was like putting this together. Is Shoma the one behind this? But this isn't actually right either. Yeah, Tiff, you did mention her a few times. I mean, she's also deflecting, right? The whole time she's like, it can't be one of us. It can't be one of us. Surely it's not one of us.
You! Shoma Genzaki!
What are you talking about, Takumi? Have you forgotten that I was a victim too? I was stabbed!
Stop running your mouth and just watch as I expose every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
It's so interesting because this is actually wrong, right? Or actually, it doesn't have to be wrong. It could be that Nozomi is taking the blood out of people after they've been killed, like I mentioned before. About like the blood draining being a separate thing. I mean, being someone else that did it. But what's up with the hearts? I'll tell you what happened in chronological order. Let's start with Kako. Her estimated time of death is between 1 and 4 a.m. on day 27. You met up with her before that on day 26 to tell her to come to the gym during that period of time. So she showed up at the gym as asked, where you made up some reason for her to swallow that thing. Like, this doesn't make any...
thing?
I don't know.
What thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
BMX. He loves TTX. He loves it. Perfect.
I'm talking about TTX. Tetrodotoxin.
It's extremely poisonous. Ingesting just 1 or 2 milligrams is fatal. That's how you poison Kako to death. After poisoning Kako, you put the bottle of TTX into her right hand. When you block the gym door using a mop as a handle. Thinking you could make her death seem like a suicide with all that nonsense. Once that was done, you climbed down the ladder at the corner of the stage into the escape pod storeroom. You already knew that shaft was there. Because you'd seen Ima and Kako going into the trapdoor before. You did your homework and went down to check out the storeroom as well before carrying out your plan. That's why you also knew about the ventilation shaft. And you used that vent to return to the school building. That's the main reason causing me to single you out as the culprit. The main reason?
Anyone could have used the ventilation shaft to get back into the school. You can't accuse me of being the culprit because of that.
I can. because of how the shaft bends in a zigzag shape and extends towards the school building.
The bends are extremely narrow. Only one with the body of a the body the size of a small child could have gone through those bends. In other words, the only one who could have gone through those narrow bends is you, Shoma. You can't say that for sure. A girl who was flexible enough could have passed through as well, right? No, it's physically impossible. Anyway, there was something left behind in the ventilation shaft. That's what's going to serve as irrefutable proof of your guilt.
Irrefutable proof?
Blue hair.
Let's see this proof. What is it?
He loves it.
Here it is. This square piece of inch-wide green cloth.
Out of all of us, only Kulala, Takumaru, and Shoma wear something green on them. But Kulala's tomato mask isn't made of cloth, so this scrap can't be hers. The shade of green in Takemaru's jacket is less vibrant than the scrap, too. Listen. Takumi has some sort of mental condition where he thinks that's square, even when it's clearly not square. Shoma, turn around. Why? Just do it. I just checked. Part of Shoma's backpack was torn. The torn part perfectly matches the cloth scrap. Indeed, I too witnessed it and have concluded they are a perfect match. You couldn't have passed through the narrow bends of that shaft while still wearing your backpack. But you couldn't leave it in the shaft either. So you tied the shoulder straps to your feet and pulled it along as you climbed up. That's how the backpack got caught on a sharp edge protruding out of the inner wall of the shaft. This cloth scrap got torn off because of that. No! This is fake evidence planted by the real culprit. Someone's trying to frame me. If that was the case, why would that someone stab you? That one act would completely divert all suspicion away from you. Now this next part is all just conjecture. Shoma, you were actually intending to kill Ima as well, weren't you? That plan went awry because Kako showed up to the gym alone. So you had no choice but to kill only her. But that made things difficult for you because Ima knew about the storeroom as well. What's more, he also knew about the ventilation shaft. If he told anybody about the shaft, this would no longer be a locked room case. If we pursued the case as a murder, we would eventually close in on it. So you wanted to kill Ima afterward. But it was almost dawn by the time you crawled out from the ventilation shaft. That left you with no time to do anything about Ima. So you panicked and started thinking about ways to remove yourself from the suspect list. That's how you ended up deciding to kill yourself. If you could make everyone think you had been mutilated by the culprit, we would never even dream of suspecting you. You're being ridiculous. This is way too bold a plan for someone like me.
Who would dare kill themselves just to make it seem like they were innocent? What's the point of being seen as innocent if you're dead?
He loves it. Perfect.
Of course. Actually dying was never part of your plan.
In fact, you were absolutely confident you wouldn't die because we have the Revive-O-Matic in the infirmary. But for that to work, you had to die in a way that allowed us to find your body quickly. After all, we wouldn't be able to revive you if too much time had passed. That's why you screamed, right? And right after that, the morning announcement so that everyone could hear you. Then you stabbed yourself all over and temporarily ended your own life. I can't believe I'm listening to this. Please be realistic. No one in their right mind would willingly stab themselves that many times. I mean, so if we do go with the thought that Nozomi maybe started to kill people after draining some of their blood, because, you know, this whole act probably is going to drive her a bit nuts. And if Ginzaki really is the culprit for the first few murders, it would make sense if he's been replaced, because, like, he's standing up for himself too much, I feel like, right now, even in, like, a sort of weird way. You know what I mean? Like, he's not just, like, accepting the facts. Because I thought something happened earlier where, like, Ginzaki was, like, perfectly okay with you know, being the scapegoat.
It just doesn't make any sense. We're not
Germaphobe.
talking about cutting your wrists or slitting your throat here. Stabbing your own body over and over again like that? You'd be in too much pain to physically continue after a while. It's just not possible.
Oh, yeah, the curry. That's right. From the first loop. The first time.
It is possible.
If you injected yourself with a powerful anesthetic, like Gamma-Feel. Remember what Yugamu said. At the proper dilution, this substance can numb the body's pain and emotional receptors without causing loss of consciousness.
Oh.
Yep, and I still stand by that.
It does make sense. So you're trying to say that I used the drug to do the deed, right? But where would I even find a drug like that?
You probably stole it from somewhere.
Stole it from where? You can't just gloss over the details like that. Tell me, where I could have gotten that drug from.
I'm waiting for him to complete his statement so that way I don't lose out on dialogue.
From the biolab.
That room isn't locked and everyone has access to the shelves. Getting that drug from there wouldn't have been a problem for you.
All right. Assuming that I did inject myself with that anesthetic.
How did I get rid of the hypodermic needle afterwards? When you found me at the back of the building, was there anything like that on me? There wasn't, right?
I actually...
You must have tossed it somewhere far away when you were done with it.
What about the knife? Where did the knife I used to stab myself disappear to?
You tossed that far away as well, just like you did with the syringe.
See, it really makes you feel like you're reaching at this point, right? Did anyone find any of those things at the scene?
No. But nobody searched the area nearby on day 27, the day of the incident. You could have collected those items the next day on day 28 after you woke up.
But still, you're just guessing at this point. You've got no real proof. No proof that I threw the knife away after stabbing myself.
I do have proof. It's not with me right now, but I did find something. There was something some 30 feet away from where we found you.
What was it?
Champagne?
What did you find?
I saw bloodstains. Just a little patch on the corner of a rock.
In a place where blood from your injuries couldn't have reached. Those stains prove that the bloodied knife had been thrown over there.
That's enough already. It doesn't matter what you're trying to say because you have no solid proof.
The green cloth was the only piece of substantial evidence you managed to produce. Anyone could have left that behind to frame me. All it proves is that I could have committed this crime. But it doesn't prove that I was the only one who could have done it.
It's time you stopped playing dumb, Shoma.
I do actually have another piece of conclusive evidence.
What?
The bottle of TTX Kako was holding. Your fingerprints were on it.
That can't be. It can't be. It just can't. It can't! My fingerprints can't be on that bottle. I was wearing gloves when I... You fell for it. No. That was just a slip of the tongue. I mean, it was just... Anyway...
But what's the Nozomi thing then?
Give it up, Shoma. I'll say it again. The person who killed Kako by making her drink TTX, it was none other than you! Shoma Genzake!
Takumi, you got a few things wrong, but for the most part, you were correct. It was me. I killed Kako.
Back off, Ima. You promised. So, which parts did I get wrong?
The entire premise to begin with. I did not kill her of my own volition. I was ordered to do so by a certain someone. Let's call this person X for now.
Stop trying to make excuses for yourself.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling the truth. Please believe me. Tell us more about this order you received. Just before dawn on day 26, I woke up to someone tapping my cheek. When I opened my eyes, X was there right in front of me.
You didn't lock the door?
I did. I think X was already hiding inside before I came in. Under the bed or something.
What did X say?
X said,
I killed Gaku and intend to make you my next target. But I'll let you off if you follow my instructions. If you go against me or tell the others about my existence, I'll blow up the bomb inside your body immediately. Yes, the bomb planted in all of your bodies by that robot known as Searay.
Just who is this X person? I don't know. They were wearing a long black poncho. They wore a mask over their face and used a voice changer to hide their real voice. That sounds like the fake stabber you made up to fool us. I mean, it's true I wasn't stabbed by a person of that description, but that person definitely exists.
What happened after that?
I followed X's instructions. I didn't want to be killed the way Gaku had been. X came up with the entire plan. They told me about the ladder shaft, escape pod hanger, and ventilation shaft. The tetrodotoxin toxin. It was X who obtained that bottle of TTX too. After that, I simply asked Kako to meet using the script X had prepared.
What did the script say?
To speak to her on the afternoon of day 26. Kako, I know about the storeroom with the escape pod too. I did some research in the library and found a way to open the cockpit and launch the pod into space. So would you like to escape with this academy together with me and Ima? If so, come with Ima to the gym tonight at 2 a.m. The plan was to kill not just Kako, but Ima as well. Because they were the only other people who knew about the storeroom. Killing them both at the same time in a locked room would make their death seem like suicide. But only Kako showed up at the gym at the specified time, 2 a.m. Why? Kako said this. I haven't told my dear brother what you told me yet. First, I need to verify whether your information is authentic or not. If it's true, then we set off tomorrow. But keep it a secret from my dear brother, all right? I want to surprise him. I hesitated to execute the plan because she showed up alone. But X also told me...
If you chicken out and do nothing, I'll still blow you up.
So I passed Kako a water bottle mixed with TTX. Takumi more or less covered what happened after that until I returned to the school building. Except I had not foreseen that my backpack would get torn along the way. After returning to the first floor of the school building, I was at a loss because I didn't know what I was supposed to do about Ima. It was going to be difficult to kill him because the sun had already risen by then. Suddenly X appeared again.
Ima probably knows about the ventilation shaft. If he spills the beans, they'll all know Kako didn't die in a locked room. They'll start investigating the case as a murder instead of assuming it was a suicide. The morning announcement will be playing soon. You won't make it back to the roof in time. Somebody will realize you were out and about before dawn. But rest assured, for if you do as I say, you'll never even make it to the suspect list.
That's why you went to the back of the building, and... Yes, I had been left with no other choice. But I was hesitant right up until the moment I injected myself with Gammafiel. Once I did that, it was as if my sense of fear completely evaporated. Oh, X gave me the Gammafiel as well, along with a knife and syringe. I'm pretty sure X must have been the one to collect the knife and syringe that I dropped after I did the deed, because I know I definitely didn't retrieve them.
His story thus told, Shoma slumped his shoulders and bowed his head deeply. The silence that followed stretched out until Hiroko finally spoke up. I just have one last question. Shoma, do the words back or heart ring any bells?
Back or heart? No, I have no idea.
Thank you. Your reaction was the answer I needed. I guess that's that, Takumi. Yes, X must have done it if Shoma wasn't involved in that particular affair. Everybody was looking at us in confusion, probably because nobody knew that someone had stolen the hearts from the dead bodies. Then Shoma started trembling like a leaf, as if he had suddenly remembered something.
Oh no, that's it! I'm gone for! I told you about X! The bomb inside me is gonna blow up now! Nothing's happening. Did this X person lie to you? I think they must have. An amateur can't possibly make a detonator for the bomb in our bodies. Only someone with my level of skill and experience. So Mr. Ginzaki won't be executed. Then I'll do it myself. I'll kill you. I'll tear you limb from limb. Ima let out a guttural roar and charged towards Shoma so quickly nobody had time to react. He shoved Shoma to the ground, clambered on top of him, and started strangling him so hard it almost seemed like he might rip his head off.
Go to hell! Ima, no!
I ran over in a panic and pulled Ima off. Shoma had fainted and was frothing at his mouth. Yugamu darted over and conducted a quick check.
He's fine. Just passed out.
Damn it! Damn it! Dear sister! My dear sister! My dear sister!
After that heartbreaking outburst, Ima simply collapsed on the spot. Nozomi and Tsubasa rushed over and started comforting him. Everybody else was at a loss, simply staring quietly at Ima as they stood rooted to the spot. The sound of Ima's pained wails echoed coldly and endlessly through the walls of the building. We moved the unconscious Shoma into the cage of the courtyard and made sure it was properly locked. Once that was done, I shoved the key deep inside my pocket. Everyone returned to their rooms without saying another word.
I soon found myself completely alone. Looking up at the night sky, I thought about what had happened. Kako's case had been solved, but that didn't mean it was all over. Someone out there killed Gaku and instructed Shoma to kill Kako. This was likely the same person who had been stealing hearts from the bodies in the morgue. X, the real mastermind behind this entire string of events. I had to find out who this person was by hook or by crook, and I would, no matter what I did. I clenched my fists tightly. I would let nothing shake me from this firm resolve.
Get ready for... Prepare to spend... Be ready to give your...
It's 10:40. I think it's time to stop for now.
Something's happened!
Oh, all right. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened first. Upon hearing that loud cry, I dashed out of my room. What happened?
What's going on?
I woke up early, so I went to check on Shoma, and Shoma, he... What happened to him? Just come with me, quickly. We all knew where we were going. Everybody made a mad dash for the courtyard together. We ran through the second floor hallway and burst into the courtyard, then ran toward the cage without stopping. There we saw... How many times must we find Shoma dead?
Shoma!
Kyoshka grabbed the gate and tried to open it.
It is still locked and will not budge.
Doesn't Takumi have the key?
Hold on, I'll unlock it now.
I dug the key out of my pocket and slotted it into the keyhole. Once the gate was unlocked, I opened it and went inside. I immediately ran to Shoma and touched his neck, checking for a pulse. At that moment, something felt a little off.
It's wet.
What?
I touched his clothes and they were wet as well.
Well, is he alive or not?
I already checked that. As you can clearly see, he's already...
Maybe we can still revive him if we bring him to the infirmary like last time.
Since I had touched the body, I knew already that too much time had passed. But I decided to go along with it anyway.
Yeah, we should try that.
Cause of death? Hemorrhagic shock. Estimated time of death, day 51, between 2 and 5 a.m. Multiple stab wounds on the chest and abdomen. The murder weapon is likely a sharp blade about 8 inches long. Too much time had passed since death. Insufficient cryptoglobin present in body. Impossible to revive. After everyone had a chance to view the monitor, the mood in the room became heavier.
The hell's going on? How'd the killer get to Shoma when the cage was locked?
Takumi, did you lock your door last night? Yes, I did, so nobody could have stolen the key from me while I was sleeping. And I know I'm repeating myself, but that key is unique. It cannot be copied. Well, that narrows down the list of possible suspects to just Takumi, right? Don't you ever get tired of mindlessly repeating the same thing?
Hey!
Aren't we overlooking the other possibility that he stabbed himself like before? This time in a way that would be impossible for us to revive him. I can't think of any other reason why he'd wind up dead in a locked cage in the middle of the night. Well then, who supplied him with the knife? It had to be X, right? If it was X, they would have passed him some gamma fuel in a syringe.
Yeah, ain't no one strong enough to keep mutilating yourself like that without being drugged the hell out of their minds.
He could have used one of the bottles that had been stolen previously. We moved Shoma's remains to the morgue. Once we get out of the morgue, we'll call it for the night. There were now 4 bodies lying on the tables there. At Ima's request, we made sure that Kako and Shoma's bodies were not placed next to each other. Ima walked to Shoma's dead body and stared at it for a long time. Then he said, "You got what you deserved." that is that. All right. We might stream this in a couple days. Probably not tomorrow. Most likely not tomorrow. In this situation, it does seem pretty damning that it's Takumi, but it's very possible that X coerced them to do it. Like, I don't know. This is one of those situations where, like, doing the joke ending actually feels like it might have revealed too much. No, you know, I'm sure they wrote, like, the story in mind to, like, to screw with you in a way that, like, maybe the Nozomi thing is also a red herring there, too. I don't know. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.